the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chico di Cabia Mapuni, Chineke, and Son of the Winner, Isala, Nina, and Aposa Hanso, Nana Jama, and Yanage Farosi, Obanana, and then so no one in because you will make a difference with your source and we're not going to but you know what? I would like you to know that America is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I'm in 5 years to come. Thank you. The very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chico di Cabia Mapuni, Chineke, and Son of the Winner, Isala, Nina, and Aposa Hanso, Nana Jama, and Yanage Farosi, Obanana, and then so no one in because you will make a difference with your source and we're not going to But you know what? They would like you to believe that America is the cause. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you.
So you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you, the more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. El-Rufai brought them in. Why did the government brought them in? Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Ohaji, you come to Ebeba, you come to Agulere, you come to Ebo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to Niger, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for your Nigeria. One Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax, everything. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport to Niger. Refinery to Niger. You take oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria. You're not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money so that they will come out. Pages of the newspaper to give the world giving the impression that everything is okay. When things are go and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back to say Nigeria is one. You must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You're being discriminated against. You're suffering. They're killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I mean, Democrats have subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Atiku wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku said, come and help us fight terrorism, in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I say that because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not people. When I say they say I'm insulting them, no, I'm not insulting you. Most of them are people. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where our umbilical cord, our long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou. Our Father who art in heaven, Nnamdi that your name may be hallowed by name, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation. To pray in the language of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile, Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onweghị onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi. Ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, ọbụladị ndị okenye oruo 2 na 4 bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ala ha niile si na-ede nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe. N'ụtụtụ a, ehihie, abalị, n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube n'ime eluigwe wee na-arịọ gị ma mma gị na ebere gị, amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi ka igwe tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro, ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị, onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ, ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ, ije obodo ekwensu bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị, onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke ebere na ụmụ gị atakwala n'ahụhụ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị iwe na anyị ezi echiche na amamihe, mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne ịdị n'otu ọganiru, ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna, ka i wee tinye ụmụ gị ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu ma wezuga anyị aka ajọ ihe n'ime ndụ anyị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ka ọ ga-abụ n'ikpeta maazị na Biafra ga-abịa, anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị, wee gọzie aha nsọ gị, kpee isi ala nye gị, bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise ise ise. This very morning, all of you, I believe that those who are watching know who we are and why we do what we do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, Chukwu Kikabia Mapurumi Henine, servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, there is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Based on that, they now amended the charge again. I removed London. Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196, 174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022. In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what they are not saying. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committing an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what the Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that they entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality. To conduct a trial is not done anywhere in the world. And you wonder why God cost you. What justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless. You cannot find anybody unless the law is written. Show me the written law. Show me the written law. I want you to talk to this. Show me the law. Don't try that. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court's judgment you don't respect. That's why we never know. Why we never know law? Be defended at all cost. At all cost. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. The Fulani approach to the zoo called Nigeria is called the devil's alternative. Fulani, they have this two-pronged approach to the issue of one Nigeria. If they collapse you through banditry, they will overrun you because they believe they have superior weaponry. Right now, and all of them are in this game together. That's number one. If you sue for peace, which idiots like Omahi are doing, if you sue for peace, they will also get what they're looking for because they will plant Ruga in every local government area. The devil's alternative, whichever option you choose, men are going to die. Men will die. It doesn't matter the option you choose. If you wait for them to do things peacefully, which they will never do, they are going to kill you anyway because they'll be Ruga. And you allow them to forcibly take over your land, you are taken over, they will take it by force. And Fulani will plant their people in your local government areas. That in the next 100 years, you'll be hearing about Olo Emirates. and then we'll be like Hausa people. Our great grandchildren will now ask their parents, what happened? They will tell, oh no, there was somebody called Hope Uzodinma. He was playing politics. He loved Nigeria. There was one called Umahi. He loves Fulani. He used to be our brother. But then we are gone. As a race, we are finished. And I said to these fools, Fulani Caliphate is dealing with you people, but you don't know it. They are like the vulture. Nigeria is pregnant. If Nigeria dies during the pregnancy, they benefit. Nigeria gives birth to the Aruga, which they want, a new Nigeria, which they want, is also to their benefit. The only people aiding and abetting them are these quislings, the fulefus from the East, intellectuals, and sophisticated morons from the West.
Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. That Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is. Always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it. And we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And
what we are pursuing is a part of pressure, relentless pressure, to ensure that Biafra comes. How are we going to employ that pressure? There are only two ways to get your freedom in the history of the whole world. Freedom can be gotten only two ways. One is through the ballot box. In other words, people will contest and they will have Biafra Nationalist Party. Yes, as they have in Scotland. And then we vote for them. When they then go to the house or maybe go to Abuja, they will say, we are here under the mandate of Biafra Nationalist Party. Because of that, we want to go and conduct a referendum in order for us to be free. The other way, you fight. Either you go through the ballot box or you fight. Which option are we choosing? We have chosen to fight.
We, the Biafrans, call the Finnish authorities to release Mazi Simon Ekpa immediately. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, has not committed any offense. Therefore, we demand for his immediate release. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa and free him now. No hand must stop Mazi Simon Ekpa from exercising his duty as a free man. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa.
For those of you who do not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. And I believe that everyone in this life and in this world, wherever where you are, the country where you reside in, have a history. Now, I want every one of us here today and those who will listen to this particular speech to note one very important fact. Nigeria state came into being through conquest. This is a fact that nobody can change. Nigeria came into existence through conquest. And the forceful imposition of foreign rule, which denied the indigenous people in Niger area the opportunity to negotiate and choose what they wanted. That is the problem. We have lived with this foreign rule and this forceful union for decades, over 100 years. That is the problem. Now, I want everyone listening to me today to also understand that after this forceful union of Nigeria called the amalgamation, successive regime, both before and after the shambolic independence, continue to hold the state together in a similarly forceful manner, the same pattern and the methodology that the conquest and invasion and the colonizers came in with. They thought by the forceful and the barrels of the gun, they will continue to kill people for the unity of Nigeria. That also is the problem today. So, this impression that they are creating, that the country must remain as crafted from the amalgamation by the colonialists, and that this country called Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. That is also the problem. We have lived from centuries to century, and today we are in the era of 21st century. We are now in a global village where the things of the past and the things of the old are changing to become new. And they don't want to change Nigeria with the dangerous diversity that have now emanated from different angles and the different injustices and corruption, and now Nigeria has found itself to become an Islamic state. That is the problem.
The very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining us on this morning program. I appreciate everyone that have joined us on this morning program, wherever you are connected from. If you are joining us from Biafra land, you're joining from Nigeria, you're joining from Africa, you are joining us from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand. You are joining us from Russia, from China, from Israel. Wherever you are joining us from, I welcome you and I thank you for being part of the program. If you are watching us on TikTok, or you are watching on Facebook, or you are watching on YouTube where we are hosting the program on the Biafra channel, you are all welcome and I appreciate you for being part of this program. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Ututu Oma, Cordelia, I can see you there. Thank you so much, Cordelia. Ututu Oma, greetings from my end. And I say greetings to everyone that is watching wherever you are watching from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greetings according to your time zone. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you that has been with us on this program, wherever you are joining from. I thank you for your patience, for your endurance in the midst of all the attack, in the midst of all the propaganda against us, all the attack, all the hindrances that are coming from the inside, from the outside, from our own brothers, from our own sisters, from our friends, from our families. With all those attacks that are coming, you are still here, standing strong and airing your opinion. I appreciate you and I thank you so much for that strength. It is not easy. So many of us that started this journey are no longer here. Some of us that started this journey decades ago, many of our colleagues are no longer here. Some of them are dead. Some are in prison. Some are outside, but they are no longer part of us. Some are still healthy, doing very well, but they don't want to associate themselves with us anymore, for one reason or the other. But for those of you who has been on this journey for decades, and you are still here, you are standing, you are speaking against all odds, with all the propaganda, all the attack, all the blackmail, all the setback, you are still there. I appreciate you, I honor you, and I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to strengthen every one of you. It has not been easy for us in the media. Those of us in the media, it's not been easy. The attack is overwhelming. They attack our platforms, they hinder our programs, they take away our viewers, and they do different kinds of things just to discourage us from coming online. But as long as the platform is still running, I can't be discouraged. I will always be here to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. And those who are scared of hearing the truth will continue to cry. And that is why we are here, to make them cry. So for those who are joining us for the very first time on this platform, or those who are going to come across our video for the very first time, I want to remind every one of you watching out there that in this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not come to this platform to preach hate. We don't come here to attack people or individuals. We do not come here to attack any race or religion. What we do in this platform is to present Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. Disintegration of Nigeria is all we call for. Peaceful disintegration of Nigeria. That is what we call for, because that is the only genuine process that could bring peace in that contraction. The only genuine concern that the world will show is to disintegrate that very contraction, and the problem will be solved automatically. You don't need to put troops on the ground. You don't need to kill anybody. You don't need to fight anybody. You don't need to invest your money in anybody. All you need to do is to join the call for the disintegration of Nigeria to your tent, O Israel. The Northern Caliphate go their separate ways. Already we know that they want a caliphate, they want a Sharia law. There is nothing wrong in it if that is what they want. Let them have it in their own territory. That is what we are saying. There is nothing wrong in having a caliphate or having a Sharia law in a country when they agree. So allow them to create that country that they want in the northern part of Nigeria, the Arewa. That is all we're asking. Let the Yoruba Republic create their own country and do what they want to do with it. Let the Biafrans go their separate ways and practice their secular system and worship whatever they want to worship. In the Middle Belt, the same thing. Allow them to go their separate ways. This is the only genuine way to sort the problem of Nigeria. If you continue to run away from this fact, you continue to hide from this very genuine call, it is not going to get better. It will get worse every day. I bet you it is going to get worse, worse, and worse. No matter how you try to put it, no matter how you try to do it, it is going to get worse. The more you continue to allow the contraption called Nigeria to exist, you're only prolonging the doomsday. You're only postponing the doomsday. Is that doomsday going to come? Definitely it will come as long as Nigeria remains the way it is. We continue to shout about this, continue to talk about this, and that is why we will not stop talking. To call the attention of the international community to conduct a peaceful disintegration of Nigeria. Nigeria is not one country, has never been, and will never be. Nigeria has not been united, will never be, and is not united till today. So anybody that is preaching unity of Nigeria, preaching better Nigeria tomorrow, is a liar from the pit of hell. These are the people that are postponing the due day. These are the people that are buying time to unleash evil on the others. So it is necessary we speak about these issues and call the attention of the international community for this genuine way of resolving the problem of Nigeria. Disintegration. That is why we say Biafra is the only solution. If you disagree with us, the link is there for you to join us and then air your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. If you don't agree with what we say, you are entitled to your opinion. You are entitled to disagree and say you don't agree. And you give us reasons why you disagree with us. If you have a superior argument, I bet you that we are ready to follow you up. But if you don't have a superior argument, at the end of the day, after speaking to us or listening to us, go back and rethink again and join the genuine cause to save life in the contraption called Nigeria. The Biafran cause is to save life. That was why our eternal leader described Biafra as a people, a place where the oppressed people run into for safety. That is how our eternal leader described Biafra. A place where the oppressed people run to for safety. Do not forget that Biafra was a child of necessity. Do not forget, Biafra was a child of necessity and still remains that today. That is why you can never ignore the call for Biafra. You can't ignore it. It's only those who are lying to themselves, those who continue to deceive themselves for their selfish interests, for their own personal interests, because of their fraudulent attitude, because they have lived very long into fraud and they can no longer live a sane life. These are the people that will never support the cause that we stand for. But we don't care. It doesn't matter how long it takes. We only worried about the loss of life that is going to happen. We're only worried about the life that we wasted because we know that United Nations is fond of allowing lives to waste before they take action. We know that that has been their template to allow innocent life to get wasted before ever they weigh in into the issue. That has been the template and they are not going away from it. And we will not stop talking. We will continue to speak until freedom is achieved. So we are here once again today to speak, as we have always done, and we will focus on very many issues. More especially, the major issue that we are not allowed to sleep is the release of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In everything we are saying, we must continue to demand the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no business being in detention. The unjust conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must not be allowed to lie low. We must not pretend that the illegal conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is acceptable. By the time we keep silent and water it down, which is the nature of a black man, more especially the Nigerian people, when something happens, within the next day, they move on and forget about it. The illegal sentencing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu happened. People did not react. In their media, instead of reacting to the illegal conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they were busy questioning the person of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his character and attitude, when they know that every single law that was used to sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was flawed. The law was not obeyed. In fact, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was constantly asking them in the court, show me the law upon which you are convicting me. Show me the law upon which you are pronouncing your sentence. Show me the law. At a point in time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went ahead to tell you that the law it seems you are using is a repeal law, if at all that is the law you are using. The law you claim you are using is a repeal law, and your law says that you cannot judge anybody, you cannot sentence anybody without a written law. But in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they used a repealed law, non-existent law. And yet, people are going about their various businesses as it is business as usual. Injustice against one is injustice against all. Today, it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It might be you tomorrow. Today, it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but I bet you it might be you tomorrow. Tomorrow might be your turn. When you see injustice and you keep silent, it is just a question of time. It will come knocking on your doorstep. That is why we are speaking, to take ourselves away from the injustice method of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And we will continue to call the international communities to pay attention. We will continue to call the United States, more especially, to pay attention at this particular point in time to the illegalities that are happening in Nigeria. We know that the West have an interest. That is why the action is lingering. The West have an interest. And you know, Nigeria has a way of bargaining their way out. But we pray that at this time, that Chukwu Okike Abiama will take absolute control. The contraction called Nigeria is a country that is willing to give out everything that it has just to see that the people are kept in captivity. A country that cannot defend itself, cannot protect its borders or citizens, which is the primary objective of a government. The primary objective of the government is to protect life and property. But that is not the case in Nigeria. Lives are not protected, properties are not protected, and yet people are going about their businesses as if it's business as usual. Only in Nigeria you see that. You cannot see that in other countries. Only in Nigeria. But I bet you, no matter what happens, never you give up. We will continue to march on until we get to the promised land. So today we are going to try to talk about these very issues. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu release. Africa under siege. How Britain and France empower authoritarian regime in that contraption. Africa under siege. You cannot deny it. The balkanization of Africa is still happening again, once again. Britain and France empower authoritarian regime to keep people captive. These are the topics that they don't want to hear. And as I promised you, we will be talking about the topics they don't want to hear. This is why they detained Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the West supported detention. This is why Mazi Simon Ekpa was taken out from our midst. And we will continue to speak about it. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, defenders of justice, and all truth seekers around the world. Today we dive deep into one of the most important conversations in African struggle for liberation. We discuss the unjust conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The colonial grip still strangling Nigeria. The colonial grip still strangling Nigeria. And how authoritarian regime across Africa survived because of the deliberate support of Britain, France, and other colonial interests. The survival of the authoritarian regimes in Africa is because of the deliberate support of the British, the French, and other colonial interests. And we see it play out every day. Example is what just happened in Benin Republic. We are going to try as much as possible to talk about these issues. You saw the unjust conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and yet the world moves on as if nothing happened. The conviction was not about the law. Conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was never about the law. It was about political suppression. The conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not about the law. That was why he was always shouting, "Show me the law, show me the law, show me the law." You saw it when I played this in the intro. You saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always shouting in the call, "Show me the law." Today, people have a vest written, "Show me the law." I want to show me the law. So the conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not about the law because he was never shown the law. Nobody was shown the law. It was about political suppression. The target was just crush Biafra. Make sure that nobody speaks about Biafra. They know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the face of Biafra. Crush it. But I bet you, it does not matter what you do. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself said it, that even him himself cannot stop Biafra. He cannot. He was convicted because his message threatened establishment interests. He exposed decades of structural injustice. That was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted. He was convicted because his message threatened established interests. He exposed decades of structural injustice, failed governance, human rights violation, security failures. These are why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted. He gave masses a voice and reminded them they deserve freedom. Authoritarian structures fear anyone who wakes the people up. This is why they convicted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without looking back. And the West backed it up because it is for their interest. They don't want anybody that's going to wake the people up. And that was what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon was doing. And this is why they had to go to any length to shut them up. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted to silence a movement, not because he broke any real law. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never broke any law. Just like Mazi Simon Ekpa, he never broke any law. They were just silenced. They were just silenced to make sure that they stopped the movement. That was the only reason. And you know, the colonial grip of Nigeria, the colonial grip in Nigeria is cannot be hidden. It is very clear. The colonial grip on Nigeria is very, very clear. Nigerian structure was created to serve colonial economic interests. The amalgamation was never for unity. Never. It was for exploitation. When you hear about amalgamation, it was for exploitation. It was not for unity. That is why Nigeria can never, will never, ever be united. You can deceive yourself while I can. The purpose of amalgamation was for exploitation. Britain's political, economic, and diplomatic influence still shapes leadership selection in Nigeria. And it will continue to shape leadership selection in Nigeria for as long as you continue to bear that name, Nigeria. As long as you continue to bear that name, Nigeria, the British people will, the British government will continue to shape your economy. They will continue to have influence in your diplomatic views and everything you do. They will continue to have influence in your leadership selection. They will continue to have influence in security policies. They will continue to have influence in your resources control. They will continue to have interest in international narratives. That is why today British is still in charge of Nigeria. Take it to the bank. They are still in charge. Britain benefits from weak, divided Nigeria, not a united or liberated one. Now you understand why they never buy into any idea of unity or any idea of security or safety. They benefit from weak, divided Nigeria, not united or liberated one. That is why even when the United States under Donald Trump is making effort for people to at least have a secure environment, the British doesn't want to see. The British continue to push their own propaganda to tell you that everything is okay. They paint the picture that everything is all right, when we know that the number of people that are dying in Nigeria every day is greater than the people that die in the war-torn zone. And this is a fact. Some of the influences they have over Nigeria, the diplomatic shielding of questionable government action. They help the zoo by shielding them from questionable government actions. The British silence on human rights violation in Nigeria. Very silent. You will never see them commenting any human rights violation in Nigeria. The British will never comment. They will never speak about it. Economic interest through multinational corporations. That is what we see on the video. These are examples of ongoing influence of the British on the zoological republic. These things need to be called out so that people will begin to pay attention. The only reason why authoritarian regimes thrive in Africa, the government in Africa flourish, for these very three major reasons. There are three major reasons that the government in Africa flourish. Authoritarian government in Africa. Authoritarian government, why they flourish in Africa. Three major reasons. One of the major reasons is Western protection. And you can see example of that Western protection. It just played out just recently in Benin Republic. You can see a clear example in Cameroon, where a 93-year-old man, brain dead, is still running Cameroon all the way from France. Authoritarian regimes strive in Africa because of countries like the United Kingdom and the French. Western protection. Britain and France maintain influence by supporting leaders who protect their interests. Oil, minerals, military bases, and geopolitical control. That is all they care about. They don't care about you. They don't want to know whether you are living or you're dying. They don't care about your economy. They don't care about your security. They do not care. All they care about is oil, minerals, military bases, and geopolitical control. That's what they care about. But it is a shame that some of us Africans, we are not paying attention to this rubbish that they are doing. Another second point is economic dependency. Another reason why the authoritarian government in Africa flourished: economic dependency. In that economic dependency, you see loans. They will be granting you bogus loans that you cannot be able to pay. Even when they know that you have resources enough to manage your country without taking a dime from anybody. But they will encourage you to take loans. They will persuade you to take loans to hold you captive. Military aids coming from right, left, and center. Just recently, you can imagine Nigerian government recently signing a military alliance with Saudi Arabia. Recently, I saw a video entering into a military alliance with Saudi Arabia, getting military aid from Saudi Arabia. Political alliances, all tied to compliance. With this, they will use it to force you to do whatever they want you to do. Loans, military aids, political alliances. Another third one is punishment of independent voices. Authoritarian governments in Africa flourish for punishment of independent voices. That is why they flourish. When a leader or movement demands sovereignty, when a leader or movement demands independence, when a leader or movement demand resource control, demand justice, they feel threatened. They will use them. The West will sponsor this authoritarian regime to make sure they silence these very voices that are asking for sovereignty, asking for independence, asking for resource control, asking for justice. These people became a target. And the colonial masters used the authoritarian regime to target them. That is why you see what is happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is happening. That is why you saw what is happening to Mazi Simon Ekpa is happening against international law. That is why those things are happening without anybody uttering a word. That is why human rights is abused in Africa on daily basis by leaders, authoritarian leaders, and nobody is holding them accountable. Nobody. Any leader you see them holding accountable have shifted away. Is either that leader has started looking inward to fight for sovereignty, fight for total independence, resource control, and justice. Then they will begin to tag that leader as authoritarian. But as long as you are playing into their own book, making sure that the resources, the oil, and your people remain enslaved, they will support you, including with arms and ammunition. But once you fight for sovereignty, ask for independence, ask for resource control or justice, you become a target. You become a target. And this thing is the pattern. We have seen the pattern in Nigeria. We saw the pattern in Cameroon. We saw the pattern in Francophone West African countries. We saw it in Congo. We have seen it in Sudan and many more. This same template is what they are playing in all those places. And it's high time we begin to pay attention. Look at what is happening to France and Francophone Africans. Look at the example of France and Francophone African countries that are today fighting to free themselves. That Nigeria has now become the agent the colonial enslavement of the people. France maintains a currency control from Paris, all the way from Paris. They maintain currency control of all their colonies. They maintain military base, military presence in all their colonies. They maintain influence over natural resources in every country they colonize up to today. Political alliance with authoritarian regimes in all Francophone countries. And today, you see the role the ECOWAS is playing, with Nigeria in the front line to maintain authoritarian regime of the colonial master, to enslave the people. Maybe the world will begin to understand why we say, Africans begin to understand when we say the disintegration of Nigeria marks the beginning of African resurrection. And that is why the West don't want to go to that direction. They never talk about it. They never want to go to that direction because they know that the disintegration of Nigeria marks the beginning of a genuine liberation of Africa. Until that is done, we are all joking. When we say that in Biafra, Africa died, and in Biafra, Africa will resurrect, it is not a joke. You can reason it the way you want. You can understand it the way you want. It's up to you. In Biafra, Africa died, and in Biafra, Africa will resurrect. The earlier you begin to support the disintegration of Nigeria, the better for you. That is when I look at people who are talking about Pan-Africa this and Pan-African that, I laugh. Because that is also a deceit. People that are preaching Pan-African this and it's just a deceit. It is just another line of message like you have the ECOWAS and the AU. It doesn't serve the African purpose. Before you go talk about Pan-Africanism, you first of all solve the internal problem that is within you. Look at the Pan-Africanism, people who are in the front line of talking about that Pan-Africa. Go to their country and see what they are doing to their own fellow Africans. Those preaching Pan-Africa, they have not even been able to solve the little problem within their own country. Look at South Africa with Malema. Pan-Africa. Every time Pan-Africa, open border. But that same South Africa cannot even be able to accommodate their closest neighbor, African neighbor. They don't accommodate them. They take their life at will. They don't see them as human. They treat them like animals. Are you going to blame the white man for that? This is an internal problem that needs to be solved. Why don't you solve the problem? Until you throw away the colonial narrative that they gave you that they're using, you will never survive. And if you want to dismantle the colonial grip in Africa, you must start to dismantle it from Nigeria. You must start from Nigeria. If you want to dismantle the colonial grip on Africa, you start from Nigeria. Until then, you are joking. Until you dismantle what they put in Nigeria, you are joking. Look at what they did in Benin. And they preach false messages to you in Africa. You pick it. They told you that the best military government is worse than the worst, what do they call it? And I don't believe in that. I don't believe it. That the best military regime is worse than the worst democratic regime, civilian regime, which is a lie. Africa have not yet matured to that level of practicing that democracy they are parading around. The democracy you have in Africa is a tool in the hand of the colonial master to run Africa for their own interests. Take it or leave it. The democracy they are giving you in Africa today, the civilian regime you have in Africa, is a senior class way of colonizing Africans by fire, by force. Personally, for me, this is my personal view. If Africa need to be free, we need to free ourselves by fire, by force. Military way. Even I advocate for every military regime to take over African nations, repair their country. Then you can now make your own rules under your own laws. Take back your freedom, first of all, then hand over to civilians to run. There are steps in life that you cannot jump. This step that Africa is jumping, you can't jump it. Even in the West that are bringing this so-called democracy for you, there was a time they were run by military men, authoritarian regime in the West. Until they got it right, they take back their land one after the other. After they took it back, then they began to practice whatever they call democracy today. The first step is to take back your land from the colonial master. And no civilian regime can take back their nation. It's not happening. Whenever you hear it, oh, independent country, is a deceit. The countries that were able to take back their country did it through military regime, and we see how they prosper within short time. The country that have experienced independence now that I can see is Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. These are the countries that are experiencing independence. And look at them critically, you see the development that is coming in those areas because they are now independent. They can now boast of independence. Not all these civilians that are parading themselves, speaking the European grammar that enslaves them, taking all the European terms that is keeping them in captivity, that support the enslavement of their own people. They copy and paste. Oh, the best military regime is worse than the best and than the worst civilian regime. Lie from the pit of hell. Even in that so-called dirty Nigeria, go and check. Their military regime was better, far more better than what you have today. The drug baron in Asarok will come and tell you, oh, we are the one that fought for civilian regime, we fought for democracy. You see what he fought for. The drug baron in Asarok will shamelessly come and tell you that he fought for democracy. Now, what you are seeing in Nigeria, is this something that somebody has to be proud of and say, this is what you fought for? I can bet you all the civilian regime that have come to Nigeria, Abacha was better than them. Take it to the bank. Remove your sentiments, remove your anger, remove all your malice and all your useless, idiotic belief that you have in your head. Think critically with fact and figure. Abacha regime was better than anything you have seen among all these people wearing uniform. Babangida regime was better than any one of them. Was better than any one of them. But yet they come to tell you, oh, the worst military regime, the best military regime is worse than the worst civilian regime. And when they speak, they will tell you, you don't have freedom of speech. Do you have freedom of speech in Nigeria now? Which civilian regime have you ever had freedom of speech? In which civilian regime have you had freedom of speech? And the freedom of speech they are looking for is the freedom to steal without being held accountable. That is what they are pushing. And that is what their colonial master allows. Freedom of stealing without accountability. That is the freedom that the democracy of Africa is giving to the civilians. Steal without accountability. Nobody holds you accountable. Steal as much as you can. Break the law as much as you can. Be lawless. That is the kind of freedom of speech they are searching for. And the only thing that gives them that is this their fake democracy that they are preaching to everybody. France have currency control from Paris over their colonies. Military presence influence over natural resources, political alliance with authoritarian regimes. This ensures obedient leaders stay in power while liberation movements struggle. They make sure that obedient leaders remain in power. That is what you saw in Benin Republic. What happened in Benin Republic is that they want their obedient servant to remain there. The move was to take away that authoritarian regime, take back their country and take back their independence, just like other people did. But you saw what happened. All the way from France, they gave order to the stooge in Abuja, to the drug baron in Abuja, and the drug baron gave his own zombie order, and those zombies went to Benin Republic to act, even when they could not be able to acquire their own home insecurity. Even when their land, their own, is taken by terrorists, their own land is under terrorist control already. But they were quick to go and protect the slave master's company in the neighboring country. Very sad. And it is because of this nonsense that they saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a threat to that system that keeps Africa enslaved, that system that keeps everybody enslaved. That was what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was challenging. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu challenged the system to bring it to zero. That is why the West is silent. And they use Nigeria as always to sentence a man without a law. They see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a danger to corrupt political structures. They saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a danger to authoritarian system that favors them. They saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a danger to colonial interests in Nigeria. That is why even with the citizen of Britain, detained, kidnapped, tortured, his right abused, nobody is saying a word. They don't care. They don't care because their interest is protected. They saw that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents freedom. They see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and he represents absolute and total freedom. He represents self-determination. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents accountability. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents the truth. And that is why they see him as a heavy threat. So the system put in place by the colonial master moved to detain him. They made a move to silence him, to discredit him, to weaken the Biafra movement that is meant to set Africa free. And sadly, even some stooge Africans, Biafrans, Igbo people joined the colonial master to push their own cause that is against their own self. There must be a way forward. We must look for a way forward. We must continue to draw international attention every blessed day, every minute, every second, with any opportunity we have. We must continue to draw international attention. Continue to draw international attention. You never can tell. Don't say they will not listen, they will not hear. There will be somebody someday that is going to wake up and refuse to be silent. It takes only one man to change this. Just as the message of Donald Trump, only one tweet, kept Nigeria on their toe, running helter-skelter. The same way, somebody is going to rise up and he will listen. That is why we must maintain international attention. We must continue to draw the attention of international communities all the time. International attention must increase in any platform you find yourself, in your own platform, in your own way, anyway. Continue to drive. There must be somebody someday that Chukwu Okikadiama will touch his heart. We know there are good people everywhere, there are bad people everywhere. There are still some people that have conscience. The same way you see Donald Trump being moved by the genocide in Nigeria, somebody somehow will come out one day and say, enough is enough. It is time for Africa to be free. It is time for people who are caged in Nigeria to be free. and that move will be made. I bet you in Biafra, Africa died, and in Biafra, Africa will resurrect again. Take it or leave it. Call it pride, call it whatever. It is up to you. We must intensify diaspora pressure. Diaspora pressure must intensify. Any place you are in diaspora, continue to mount that pressure with your voice. Continue to speak with your lawmakers. Continue to speak with every authority, every organization you can reach. Continue to make impact anywhere you are in diaspora. We must continue to amplify the truth. Continue to amplify the truth the best way you can. Don't you ever slow down. These are processes how we can be able to move forward. Amplify the truth. I am not telling you to lie. I'm not telling you to push propaganda. The truth, continue to speak the truth and amplify it the best way you can. Don't be silent. Don't say nobody's listening. Don't say you don't have audience. Don't say, oh, they're not paying attention. Continue. I'm telling you that it takes only one man. Just like the Bible says, that through one man, sin came into the world, and through one man, redemption came. The same thing is going to happen. And it is near. That is why you must continue to speak. Continue to speak. Don't be silent. Sometimes it will seem that nobody is paying attention. More especially those of us in media. Sometimes you get discouraged. You feel, oh, like nobody is paying attention to my voice. I've been talking and talking. Nobody. Keep talking. Don't get tired. Somebody is listening, waiting for opportunity to take action. And I bet you that opportunity is going to come. And that one voice is going to speak. The same way one tweet changed the narrative in Nigeria, that same way is going to happen very soon. We must continue to oppose oppression. Oppose and expose oppression. Anywhere you see oppression, expose it. Don't keep silent. It doesn't matter who is being oppressed. It doesn't matter who is being oppressed, whether it's your enemy, whether it's your neighbor, whoever, whether it's a Yoruba man, Hausa man, Igbo man, Fulani man. Anybody is being oppressed, expose it. Expose oppression. Just like our brother Showore is doing. Exposing everything exposable. Any oppression against anybody, it doesn't matter. Your identity doesn't matter to us. Your orientation doesn't matter. Your religion doesn't matter to us. Anything called oppression, when you see it, expose it. Our call for justice must be consistent. Be consistent in your call for justice. We must continue to call for justice consistently. Don't you ever look back. Don't you ever say, oh, I will not again. No, don't. You must continue to speak. Africa cannot be truly free until a voice like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are free. Africa cannot be free until the voices like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa are free. You can continue to pretend. It is not going to be too long. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are at this moment, you need to wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up. The balkanization of Africa is happening. The grip of the colonial master is increasing. They are changing tactics. It is no longer hidden. So if you continue to ignore it, you are going to pay a heavy price. My brother Christian, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mazi, good morning, my brother.
You're welcome, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you are doing an amazing job, my brother. I'm not gonna lie you. You know, I came in and got off because I had to fix stuff. But yeah, I overheard you say something very, very crucial. You know, because you see, sometimes we as Africa in the OG, we tend to. It's sad that we tend to buy into everything these colonialists trying to sell to us, you know.
Yeah.
Just because they said it, then it has to be true. It's not true that the worst civilian government is better than the. That is just not.
Government.
Come on, I mean, but experience has shown that is just not true. Because if we were, let's take for example, in the time of Abacha, that this terrorism will be going on for how many years now? It's impossible.
Impossible.
Jesus Christ. Abacha will go there. Imperfect as Abacha is, wicked, whatever you want to call him. But Abacha will go there and crush them and crush the financiers without hesitation.
Without hesitation, without permission from anybody.
Without permission from anybody. But Tinubu, who is a civilian, is there playing politics with people's life. Hundreds of thousands of people's life being massacred. Tinubu sits down, waiting until. It's crazy, bro. In every sense of it, is crazy. What are they? What? But the good thing, though, is that African people, the common man on the street, they begin to understand it. In as much as they don't have the power, right? Like we are not that emboldened or empowered to go out there and make a change, like the Arabs we do, like the Europeans we do. But we are. You can see that people are beginning to realize that this bull crap they call democracy in Africa is just
Rubbish.
it's just a fallacy, pure fallacy.
Another system of colonization. That is what
100%. The democracy that they will not tolerate, that they will not accept, they push it on you. You see on the street, when this military comes and take over in form of coup or attempt to, people jubilate. People are
jubilation
happy.
everywhere. People were rejoicing.
What does that tell you?
That alone speaks volume.
Jesus Christ. Then in our midst, you will see the enablers, the evil ones, like the abatis of this world. They will come out and tell you that the worst civilian government is better because they are as evil. They are part of the evil.
Exactly.
But in reality, in practical, they know it's not true. It's just not true. Most of the things you have in the country today were built under the military regime. The straightforwardness, the direct action. And you look at what they are selling to us and we're buying into it. Like you said, a guy who is so senile, he can't even walk on his own, left alone, in Cameroon. And they are, romancing and hobnobbing with him. What does that tell you about these colonial masters? And look at Tinubu, a guy who I'm almost certain that, left alone on his own, he cannot coordinate anything. Absolutely cannot. And this is the one that British and the French, they are all, having a. This is crazy.
Rallying around him to support him.
Absolutely crazy. Go to Burkina. I have a friend who an American guy, he went to Burkina Faso. He is very impressed. It's not perfect yet, but at least there's movement on the ground. And they are trying to use a short space of time. They are trying to
what Burkina will be in the next 20 years.
Or 10 years. They are trying to use what they have to better themselves independently. Not relying or waiting on the French to tell them what to do or what not to do. They want to elect and what not to elect. But this is what is happening in Nigeria. And the criminal ones who knows the truth, but will never speak the truth because of their evilness of heart. They will tell you that there was civilian rule. How is that possible? How? We are seeing it every day that the civilian leadership is worst. It's worse in Africa for the most part.
One of the lies they tell is when they tell you that during military regime there is no freedom of speech. And I ask them, is there any freedom of speech now?
Oh, that's another lie because it's not true.
Another big lie. Even during military regime, that is when there is freedom of speech.
Of course, because people try to speak.
IBB, there is no kind of name people didn't call him.
Nobody can call Maradona.
No name they didn't call him.
That if you ask me who killed Dela, I go say Baba. But if you put Gida Now you talk more. Not
somebody play that music during his regime.
well, right now, with their so-called civilian rule, we see what they are doing, what Tinubu is doing. The way they are kidnapping, the way they are arresting, including teenage children. You remember when they tried to try children for treason? Civilian, no? You remember that Tinubu, the so-called civilian rule in Nigeria.
And this is a man who will shamelessly come and tell you that he fought against military regime.
Can you imagine? But it's worse than military regime.
Now you know why they are fighting. The only thing they are fighting against military is that military will not allow you to perpetrate your fraudulent activities without being held accountable.
Exactly.
You cannot perform those fraud without being held accountable. Military regime.
Yeah, exactly. And trust me, it seems like that is what is like in this dispensation. I don't know, maybe moving forward, but for now, it seems like that is the only thing that can save Africa, because the military.
Not like it seems. That is the only
thing. Tinubu, a evil, corrupt human being who is worse than even Babangida. Tinubu is worse than him. In our eyes, Korokoro, we see what in the man they do. He pervert justice. A guy who pervert justice, he doesn't even care. A democratically elected governor, he remove him. What kind of democracy is that when he has the same right as you are both elected, so you don't have the right to do that, but he did it and nothing happens. We've seen him goes and engage in an unlawful, unauthorized strike on a sovereign nation, civilian government, but the law forbid it, but he did it anyway. We see a man who just spend money. He can just allocate all these criminal propagandists that he hired around. They are not officially designated, but they're on payroll. The FFK of this world, the Reno Mockery of this world, they are being paid.
Exactly.
With no designation, nothing, absolutely no. Not to talk about the other YouTubers whom they just go and give money here and there to be running around. So anybody, so like I said, we have to that lie that the colonialists sold. We have to people have to debunk it, because it's simply not true. We are lived enough to know that is just not true, because even Buhari was a civilian. The last Buhari before was a civilian rule, but we saw how he was massacring people left, right, and center with no court permission, with no justice.
That Buhari, his military regime was better than his civilian regime.
100%. So you see
it is on record that his military regime, if you check everything that happened, his military regime is much better than the civilian regime. During the military regime, he performed the same kidnap, but he went to kidnap a criminal, not an innocent person.
Yeah.
In that one, it was a kidnap against a criminal, not an innocent person.
Yeah.
But as a civilian, he went ahead to kidnap an innocent man from Kenya, extraordinary, rendition that person, and brought him illegally to the court.
And that is one other area where I disagree too with Moyele, because I've had him say something like that. But trust me, bro, that today in Burkina Faso, the Burkina-based population, the people of Burkina Faso, they will resist any attempt to dislodge the president, because he's doing well. But before him, you see, so frankly, if anybody, they are trying to be kind of hyperbolic in their mindset or idea, it doesn't say, because the thing is, what we see, what we know, you can't make me to believe what we're seeing is physical, is action, is obtainable. That is that the military in Africa, at least as far as Africa is concerned, is better, because if you talk about discipline, there's discipline. Look at what Tinubu is doing, who has never been a military person, he's civilian.
Oh.
We won't even allow people who are, wrong conviction, and you allow them to appeal, and what is that? So where is the rule of law there? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You know, bro, the thing is, like I heard you said earlier, our problem in Africa, let me just broaden it a little bit, is majorly these two countries, majorly French and the British. These two people, it's usually used to be like in cohort or coalition with the US, but not this current US administration, because Trump looked at Nigeria. He has followed Nigeria, he has seen the antecedent, the history, and they call it a disgraceful country, which is true, and they don't like that. And the former British minister went there to describe how nice Nigeria is. What kind of flattering or lies?
In a very terrible time that is very clear to everybody.
Yeah, children are in the bush, kidnapped.
Children are in the bush.
He doesn't care, or he doesn't know about that.
Not one, not two, not three.
Not three, not four.
50 children.
And the government is negotiating with them. I give you 100, I keep 200 back, and
Oh God.
Jesus Christ. So Boris Johnson, they don't know this is happening in the country that they own. Is that what they're trying to say? A country that is run on their behalf by the caliphate.
You see, one thing that we Africans need to do is, until we begin to define things and do things in our own terms.
Yeah.
We continue to follow this public narrative. It's just like those of us who are online. You know, people, they like trending issue. When something is trending, you just join that thing and you push it so they can have viewers. Once something is trending. And that is what many politicians are doing in Nigeria. When people push on narrative, what is trending for the world is this democracy. But for African culture, it doesn't work. We have not gotten to that yet. Even if we practice democracy, we have not reached that level yet.
I think that
until we are free. Once we get our freedom, genuinely free from the colonial master, if we want to talk about that, then we establish our own democracy. Not this thing they gave us. Not this one they are pushing. The one they are pushing now is the senior brother of enslavement.
You know, I think that somebody like Trump, you know, knowing what I've seen over the years, I think that he is misunderstood. Because let me tell you, the level of the power of the United States, they can almost certainly do anything if they choose to. You know, the French and the British, they wanted him to destabilize Burkina Faso. And that, trust me, if Trump wanted to do it, he will do it. He can do it just like that. What will you gonna do? What will you or me? If he chooses to use American might, to take out, he will do it. Trust me. And nothing will you and me go do. The consequence, whatever. They are that powerful. Look at Venezuela. What is happening today? The man is on his knee, begging that let's do like this, let's do like that, let's do that. Because this is United States. They can do practically anything, but Trump doesn't quite buy into that notion of perpetual exploitation of a people. You don't let them develop, you don't let them grow on their own, you don't leave them alone, and when they come to your country, you complain of migration, you complain, but yet you won't leave them alone. Trump did not. This is one of the hatred, this is one of the animosity that they have towards him, because when this whole thing happened and Trump came, the French and the British, they wanted him to use his, power and every other means to bring this guy down. But he hasn't really shown enough, he didn't quite show interest in going that route. That is the problem.
He didn't buy into their nonsense. If he bought into it, he can do it if he wants to do it.
Of course. And why do you think he called Nigeria? It's because he hates Nigeria that he called them what he called them? No. He sees the unimaginable potential of a country, yet nothing is happening. Absolutely nothing. Not employment they could not provide, nothing. If you come and announce today in Nigeria, if America or let's say Western world come and announce that anybody who wants to leave can come, the whole country, there will be nobody there, bro. Trust me.
Nobody.
Everybody will run away. And yet, some guys will come and tell you how beautiful Nigeria is, how this and that, Tinubu is this and that. But every opportunity they get, they run away from the place. With all the potentials.
Pastors, you know, see, if they tell you, say, deeper life pastor, go run, go UK, go stay finally. Go.
Okay, come there now, they come, they do. You don't go online now to start another fraud. And they see him online that he's this, that in the name of, you know, usually they call the name of whatever. Another fraud. The one he committed in Nigeria when he was telling them that God say that they cannot watch television. They can.
God no come tell them again because he's in a mistake.
And the Chukubuano, hey God Almighty, these people.
It is so sad. It is so sad.
Well, now they go. All the sad.
The world doesn't know what they are, what they have. They don't know the kind of gift God gave them by providing Donald Trump.
Yeah, 100%.
Only man that will tell you the truth to your face. It doesn't matter 100%. How you feel about it. It is the truth.
Yeah.
He will tell you without any political correctness. He will just tell you.
Yeah.
If he hates you, he will tell you that I hate you. Directly, he will tell you that. It's left for you to ask him, why do you hate me? And he will tell you why he hates you. Then if you don't like it, go and correct it. Go and change yourself. He came to the United Nations, he always told them, America first. I will put my country first. You put your own first.
Yeah.
Build your own country, put your own first. So how is that a bad talk? When somebody says, go and put your home in order. Is that an insult? You want somebody like these people that will come and tell you, oh, Nigeria is secure. Everywhere is fine. Everything is okay. I didn't know that Nigeria is like this. I came to Nigeria. I was so secure. In a time when 250 children are in the captivity of the terrorists. You came and you make such bold statement in Nigeria. Not only that, he was there saying, counting the things they send to Nigeria, they export to Nigeria, whiskey is one of the gifts they give to Nigeria.
Can you imagine?
He was saying that what they export to Nigeria is whiskey. Meanwhile, Nigeria exports their experts.
And their natural resources.
The young brains, they move them to the UK. Send their experts to the UK. Meanwhile, in UK, they manufacture finished goods like whiskey and they bring to them.
To be drinking.
God have mercy.
You know that it was also that Katrina Line or Leon, whatever, the former commissioner to Nigeria. I think it was on a rise with this face about them, where she told them that they have a program in the UK to take the best and the brightest from Nigeria and bring them to the UK.
Exactly.
And give them paper, give them accommodation to stay and work. And I'm like, really? This is your program. This is how you help the country, right? You take the best and the brightest, and you leave behind the rest of the donkeys. So when you do that, how do you expect the country to get better then? You take the best and the brightest. That is why you see somebody who say is a professor in the zoo, but when he's open his mouth, the things that comes out there, you begin to scratch your head.
A professor that will go to INEC and rig election for somebody who doesn't have a certificate to be a president.
Exactly. Where is your dignity? Where is the dignity?
Rig election and rig it on behalf of somebody who doesn't have any certificate.
Okay. And it's a
so-called professor.
So where is the value of that professorship? What is the mean? What does it even mean that you're a professor? Like this last one, they rigged the election for a criminal drug baron that has a record in the United States with FBI of being a money launderer, a certificate forger, and a drug trafficker. And you rig it, and you call yourself a professor. You rigged him in, and now he's compensating you with ambassadorial job. Now you ask yourself, how is this guy going to better the country? A guy that cannot now step foot in the United States. Why? Because he's apprehensive of being apprehended.
Exactly.
You know that
everywhere. He has been going to UK, France, going to everywhere, junketing to everywhere. But even with the serious situation, that ordinarily, even Muhammad Buhari went to the US.
Yes. Yes. But for him, from day one, he knew that because Trump being so unconventional and unpredictable, Anything could happen. Anything can happen, and trust me, and nothing will happen. He could be held there and say, "Come and testify." You just never know. With Trump, that is one good thing about that unpredictability. You just never know. And he was one. Akiyemi, another Yoruba man, told him, "Be careful, be careful." So for more than 2 years, he did not step foot there. He was going to France, going to London, going to wherever. 2 times he had to send Shetima to go and step foot in America rather than he himself. But he would go other places, go China, go this, go that. You know? So, my brother, the thing is that in the OG were not so, I were not really so, because
the earlier we begin to remove our mind from this colonial false information, like that the best military regime is worse than the worst democratic government, is until we remove our mind from those nonsense, we can never go anywhere. From facts at hand, from what we have seen, the military regime we have seen in the past, they achieved more than every civilian regime you can see in Africa.
Yeah.
The military have achieved more. One of the best country we have seen that achieved a lot before it was destroyed. Gaddafi. Gaddafi was a military man. Call him any kind of name you call him. I can bet you that the citizens enjoyed excellently than any other country.
Yeah.
Until he was killed. And he maintained the amount. He didn't owe anybody. Even when they voted him, he never owed any country, he never owed a dime. You say he was borrowing money to them.
Yeah.
He was giving free money to the citizens. Citizens have so many entitlements. If you marry a wife, you are entitled, they will pay you. If you want to study anywhere outside the country, they will sponsor you. If you want to farm, the government will sponsor you.
Yeah.
The citizens are entitled, light, free. Their petrol is almost like taking it free.
Yeah.
During his regime. He was a military man. And he held them, they were doing well. Until the same blackmail and propaganda they pushed, he was a tyrant, and removed him. Today, Libya would never ever find somebody that would be like him in the entire history of Libya.
Yeah.
And the people they used to push this very propaganda are the people who are seeing that their fraud is not functioning, is not operating. They couldn't allow their fraud to go ahead to steal. They use them to push the person as a tyrant. They say he's a tyrant, he's a tyrant, he's a tyrant, he's a tyrant, and before you know it, the West will go after that person. And when you look deeply, the West are going there because the person does not allow them to steal the resources. He is managing it by himself. If not for the power of Russia and China, do you think that the West will allow them to survive? You see what Chinese is practicing? The way they hold their government. You can call them a tyrannic government. You can call them whatever. But do you see how the economy is growing?
Yeah.
Do you see how many billionaires they are making every day?
China, eh?
China.
Yeah, because
China has the highest amount of billionaires in the world.
Yeah, because you know why? Because the Chinese, for them to, as it's just more like Trump's ideology. China first. Trust me.
Exactly. Simple.
They don't care what you do, whatever. It's all about China first. And you know, the Chinese,
it's working for them themselves.
It's working for them. And the Chinese, they have zero tolerance for corruption and criminality. If you're a politician, you are found wanting, you are convicted of a crime, you are gone. There's no time to waste, so they just take you out. That's zero.
It has to do with their government. They are not tolerant at all.
Zero tolerance.
You can do anything, do your do your counterfeit, it's up to you.
The public fund.
The government that controls the thing that benefits every human being, everybody in China.
Yeah.
They don't play with this. They don't play with it.
Like in Nigeria, have you ever, in the history of Nigeria, have you ever seen any president that was brought to book or tried or even convicted? Even America, we saw how they were dragging Trump, the whole Trump up and down from court to court, you know. Wow. He even had to take a mug shot in a court. Mug shot. Have you seen any president, despite the fact that they are the most crooked if anything you like do as a president, nobody, you're untouchable. So a society like that, and the ones that pain me the most is that when you see some of these guys like that, David Uyende, I think yesterday we talked about it briefly. For them, they see everything from the lens of black and white, from the lens of Pan-Africanism and stuff like that. That is one thing that is one very, very mischievous venture that we never even let Africa to go anywhere, because I asked him, I wrote and I said to him, you are talking about Nigeria unity, Nigeria this, Nigeria that. I said, so are you going to have unity with the Fulani Sharia proponent who want to cut off your head just because you are an infidel? So what kind of one Nigeria, what kind of unity are you going to have with people who have this mindset? They're not just that they have the mindset, they are doing it right there before our eyes. They are practicing it. So the only solution is we can be one, fine, okay, but you must be able to have your own set of, value system and prescribe for yourself the laws, the constitution that suit you based on your value, affiliations, those you are affiliated with, So like that, we all begin to develop first at our own pace and with a law that suit our culture, suit our system. Then as that goes on, we can cooperate bilaterally. These things it's as simple, and again, it's also been practiced different places in the world. So why don't you take a page from that? Why are you saying this Pan-Africa when
that is why I see that as another Western style of ideology, a Western propaganda that they are preaching either knowingly or unknowingly. It's a trick.
It's a trick. I think it's a trick.
It's a trick. It's a trick.
Because
they're working for the West. Because
they are the one funding it.
Yes. Because when you look at the West, what we are talking about today is what they did before they arrived at where they are.
100%.
You see Russia.
Yeah.
Russia was disintegrated into pieces. And today,
Yugoslavia.
every one of them came into European Union to form the European Union.
Yeah.
Under the agreement that they all signed into.
Yeah.
The same thing in Asia. Many of them, India was broken into pieces, but today every one of them is in the Asia Summit.
Yeah.
Under an agreement that agreed. So why are you now keeping the colonial boundaries?
Brainwash.
And you want to speak, you want to preach Pan-Africa based on colonial ideology. How does it work?
Pan-Africa, when you don't even agree with each other, when you everything, when you don't even love one another, everything you are doing is to undermine one another. How does that work?
How does it work?
The Yoruba political elite
in the front line of Pan-Africa, go and check their country, what is happening. Malema, go and look at what is happening in South Africa, how they are treating other African countries.
Pan-Africa. Yoruba elite, they get up, they will conspire with the Fulanis, how to undermine Biafrans, so that, and so much envy and hatred, and it's not going to go away. The only way these things will go away is that people have their different nations and build themselves. Then we can trade together. It's simple. Anything other than that, forget it.
Simple. Create country according to value system.
Yeah.
Everybody according to their own value system. Later on, they can now sit on a round table, sign up an agreement by themselves on how to run with one another.
You know what you said? You said that this Pan-African crap they are pushing, maybe it's even maybe it's another Western tactic, and they have people pushing it.
That is what it is. And
they have people pushing it while fooling those who are able to fool that that is what is the way moving forward. Pan-Africa. When it doesn't make sense at all. We are very tribal by nature as African too. Very, very tribal. Yorubas want to do their thing. Biafrans want to do their thing. Arewa want to do their thing. So what are you talking about, Pan-Africa?
Pan-African, that even the African countries that are trying to take back their sovereignty by themselves,
you are organizing a war against them.
Yeah.
People that want to free themselves now to join the major African freedom. They want to join the main African freedom. You are fighting against them. You form your ECOWAS, you're against them. Your AU is against them.
And the ECOWAS and those ECOWAS are being funded by the colonial masters.
Of course, now
they pay their bills.
What they say that China built their headquarters. Is it which will build a headquarters for them?
You know, so how do you go?
Nonsense. Until we begin to define things in our own way, because all this nonsense language they are using, it doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for us. We have not yet. Africa have not yet matured into practicing that their nonsense democracy. We have not. What they are giving us as democracy is nonsense, because even this democracy they are claiming to bring started from Biafra land. Democracy started from Biafra land. A white man made the revelation. I've played the video here several times. A white man said democracy started from Biafra land. Whatever they are claiming to be democracy, we started practicing it before them. Including the freedom of women and whatever. It started in our land before them.
You know the man who said it.
Give women freedom. Our women had freedom before any other women. That is why up to today, when Umuada gather together and give you an ultimatum, you are gone.
You know,
I
think
they have a voice.
Do you know that is this man the chairman of that committee they had in the United States, Chris Smith? He's the one who said it. I heard him say it. You remember that? Yeah. They all started in Biafra, and he explained, you know, he expatiated the things that were happening back then, you know, that even women have freedom. When most nations in the world, women did not have that freedom. But, you know, because now people, they're like waking up to do what Biafrans were already doing back in the days.
And not only that, they are waking up, they now neutralize it and bring their own version. Their fraudulent version is what they brought. Yeah. Not even as if they're doing, because they change so many things to manipulate and to control, to continue to run the affairs of the people. They will tell you government of the people by the people. How is what is happening in Nigeria the government of the people? Tell me. Yeah. Because the meaning of democracy, as they explain to us, is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That is how they define democracy. Is that not? How is what is happening in Nigeria and other Africa today government of the people, by the people, and for the people?
A government that is working in alignment with terrorists, with terrorism. How do you explain that? That after all this while, despite the effort so far of American government, despite the effort of individuals asking questions, till this day as we speak, they are still running the show in Nigeria with Tinubu watching and looking helplessly, whether it's just helpless or that is his own ambition or agenda, because it's very confusing. Why do I say that? Because we talked about military, the comparison between civilian and military. Under military, this will not be happening. That Matawale is still in government, that Gumi is still roaming about, that the terrorists are still working freely, and they are now trying to form another party in ADC, because there is another branch where they are the same people that is sponsoring terrorism. They are trying to form another party, possibly to take power and continue the same thing going. APC is terrorist. Canada Court said it. PDP the same. These are people who have information on the ground, and when they say it, they know what they are talking about. You can see playing out that the APC government is just romancing around, negotiating with terrorists. If they are not terrorists, why are they doing that? Why can they not go after them? They won't go after them. Rather, they go and negotiate, they release some children, and they keep some, give them money, they go and buy ammunition, more ammunition with that. In readiness, they go. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And people are defending this Tinubu administration for one reason or the other. They are defending it. Rufai Hussein, I see he was having a clash with Ruben Abati the other day. Ruben was looking darker and darker like a Kwensu because the things that Ruben was saying did not sit well with him. That Tinubu should resign, my dear brother. Sometimes I wonder that Arise TV, I really don't know, because in a normal situation, Ruben ought to be fired long ago from there. I don't know how is he so brazen that he just feel like, is he the editor-in-chief of Arise? I don't know what it is.
That is his contract. His contract there is to defend the government. The government put him there.
Well, but they said Arise TV is, they put the name of one Igbo man who they say is the proprietor. Now, but the way things are going, the constant harassment and the behavior, the conduct of Ruben Abati, if you talk something about government, he can come after you. If a woman says something, he can just flip and tell you that he will fight you. He said so many things. Like I said, he would have been long gone if he were in a normal situation. He would be gone. But no.
But as you see, he's playing the role of the government, and there's nothing he can do. Maybe they will give Arise owner that condition. It's either you allow him to be there or you risk
we'll take you out. Yeah. Who knows?
So yeah. He's free to say anything he wants to say. That is it. I hope you saw the video of the attack of the Adamawa people who were protesting, 9 women who were shot by military.
Recently?
Recently, just a few days ago. Let me play the video.
This is the General Hospital in Numa local government area, where the remains of the slain women were deposited. Here, relatives and members of the Boatier community gather in grief, paying their last respects.
According to the Constitution of Nigeria, we have a right to life. We have a right to freedom. And no uniform personnel will deny us. We have a right to protest. We are calling for justice. Justice. Justice for our women that are lying, 9 of them. Some are taken care of at the hospital.
Mourners moved through the streets of Numa, chanting protest songs as they expressed their pain and demand accountability. The 9 bodies were later received in Lamurde amid scenes of agony and sorrow. A mass burial was held for the 9 victims, 8 women and 1 man. Community members accused the Nigerian army of opening fire on peaceful protesters who had marched to register their anger over recent attacks on more than 4 communities which have left homes destroyed and residents displaced.
I have never seen where a military man came down from a truck and went on his knee, pinned down, and aimed at the women in close range and fired bullets on rapid, and shot about over 20 people at the spot. 5 people were lying dead at that moment.
No one was having any armed. Nobody was having something with them. We were just holding leaves, which we all know that leaves are a symbol of peace.
If you want to protect yourself, you make comment so that you protect yourself. We have people, eyewitness, they were there, we viewed everything, we have evidence.
An allegation the army denied, describing them as baseless and malicious. According to the army brigade in the area, the casualties were caused by the unprofessional handling of automatic weapons by local militias within the Boatier community, who they say are not properly trained to operate such weapons. However, community members insist their claims are valid and demand an independent probe.
The Boatier nation entirely is mourning the loss of their loved ones, and their clarion call is for the federal government and human rights organizations to look into this matter, investigate thoroughly, and bring justice to these innocent people. Sama Modedan, Arise News, Yola.
Did you see that?
Malchus, I'm just seeing this the first time. And meanwhile,
it happened a few days ago.
And we were just talking. And this is civilian government. This is civilian government, isn't it?
Civilian government. This is where Auditors Kanu tell you to go and carry flag.
Okay.
And these women were protesting against the Fulani attack, against the Fulani invasion, the kidnapping in the area.
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible that terrorists in the military are the one who did this, and they are terrorists. Those, you know, they're in the military. Of course, we know.
They are everywhere.
And
women.
Yeah,
9 of them dead.
Yeah, their interest. These terrorists that they put into the military, they are there pushing the interests of terrorism, pushing the interests of Islamization and Fulanization, and they don't want you to speak, they don't want you to protest, they don't want you to hinder them or to make the world know, like they are trying to execute or, you know, condemn those middle bed people who went to America, all those Ezekiel, that pastor, these people. So the ones who are in the military, the Islamic terrorists who are in the military, if you goes out and protest like Ojus or Kalu was saying, well, there is opportunity for them to take you out, you know, and nothing will happen. At most, somebody will come out and say investigation, and at the end,
did you hear what that lady said that the military said? Did you hear the report of the military?
Mm-hmm.
The military said that it is the local vigilante who were not trained that opened fire.
Can you imagine? So local vigilantes, they wear military uniform, or the protesters did not see the people who open fire on them.
I wonder, what of the bullets that they show? Those bullets are military bullets.
Hey, God Almighty. See, they deny everything. And this is what they are. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Nigeria.
I tell you to go and. You can imagine if it were to be Biafra. This is Adamawa people.
Yeah.
Women, oh, not men, women. You can imagine what they would do if it were to be IPOB protesting with flag in Nigeria now as it is.
Everything they are doing, bro, everything they are doing with the Islamic Sharia terrorists, I'm the proponent of it, and the government, because for me, in my estimation, they are just all the same. Everything they are doing is to incite fear on you and the people. Don't come out and protest. If you come out and protest, you get a bullet. So they are sending message with all these things they are doing.
Yes.
Exactly. They are all in it. Tinubu doesn't want anybody to protest, and he doesn't want anything to change. So all these things they are doing now, they are putting more fear on people. So when Shore and them who are, you know, pushing protest or revolution, these things, you know that you're going to get a bullet. And at the end, nothing will come out of it. The change won't come. And what you are trying to do, and it's just crazy. Oh, Nigeria business, I don't know, to be honest with you, I will never encourage somebody to go and protest. But if you you know, if you choose to fine. But whatever happened, you know, for me, the point I am on 100% is the disintegration, the dissolution of this evil entity. Because can you imagine that at this point in time, just in the midst of it, they kill about 9 or people who are peacefully protesting with leaves.
Can you imagine?
Bro, this is, oh my God.
Women or civilian government or women, they shot them.
And you see all these things, Showore will tell you to come and protest. So obviously, you can't blame anybody who is against it, because you are not trading the right path. What Showore and every one of us should be saying is the dissolution of Nigeria, because it's not working and it will never work. And if you think that Nigeria will work, you will finish. Your own children will continue on down this path. Because before the Showores, many more has come in the past, and we saw how they ended up. Nothing changed, and it hasn't gotten better. Rather, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. You know, we talk about the Okadibo and the Taisholari and Fawemi, something Fawemi. All these people, they were serial protesters. But from that time till now, it's even worse now. They are still shooting people at close range just for protesting peacefully, and nothing will come out of it. So, what is there? So that is the only thing to sum it up. I've never seen a country where blood of the innocent flows so rampantly and with no accountability. The government, they cover it up. Because everything they're doing is to maintain the status quo. Just keep it going, and the colonialists that are benefiting, that created it, that's what they care about. Just continue to, that's what it's all about. Odegu, my brother.
It is so sad. It is so sad that things will never get better. It will get worse every single day. It will get worse in their so-called civilian government.
Yeah.
I hope. Did you see the video of what they call it? The wife of Tinubu, where she was embarrassing a governor.
Well, I heard about it, but you see, well, again, bro. So this is what we're talking about. How it is in Nigeria. If you're a president, your wife becomes president, your children become president, even your dog becomes, even your cat becomes a president.
Everything.
You can do and undo. You become God in Nigeria when you're a president. It doesn't matter how you become the president. You could be an armed robber, you could be a terrorist, you could be a drug trafficker, like we've seen in the past, and it's still ongoing.
They say that the convoy of Tinubu's son is bigger than that of the governor.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
With well-armed military men, security guard everywhere.
Hey!
You can imagine something that happened to the extent that Wole Soyinka begin to complain.
Oh, really?
Wole Soyinka began to complain. You know that it's a serious issue.
About the convoy?
Yes. I saw a video where he was complaining that he went to lodge in a hotel. Eventually, the boy came there to lodge. He said when he came there, he thought that was a coup that was taken to take place. They asked him if they were acting a movie. The guy said no, they are not acting a movie. He said you're not acting a movie. So later he called somebody and asked him what is going on, and the person told him that these are the convoy of the first son.
And that is and they call him a professor with no dignity, with absolutely no connection to reality and truth. Those are the people, they endorsed Tinubu till today, continue to endorse Tinubu, knowing that Tinubu has no integrity, knowing that Tinubu is a criminal that literally should be locked up, should be facing the law for his criminality, But he's a striped man. So he doesn't care. And when something is happening now, they are complaining. He went somewhere, the convoy of the child, the son, and is complaining. But you sow the seed that you are reaping now. You sow it by being part of it, by bringing in, by endorsing a man who have no business being the leader of the country. Because it's from your place, you don't mind, you don't care. You cover it up, and now everybody is feeling the heat. Everybody is feeling the heat of complacency and complicity. Yeah, that's what it's all about. I've never seen a place where people don't like to, and it's also because it's not a country. It's not one country. That is why these things are happening. I've said this severally that if Oduduwa or Yoruba nation, if it was a country of its own, they will not. I don't think they will allow Tinubu to be their president. I don't think so. So you see that is the solution. But why are people not? Why do they not want to see the solution and apply the solution? That is what I cannot understand. Of all the caliber, the people in Yoruba land, academicians, people with integrity, people who are young, energetic, and vibrant, ready to and able to do the job. You think they were a man who is, it's not possible. Just like us as Biafra. No, if we have Biafra, because they always say that, is it not? This is where they lie to the gullible people. That if you are talking about Biafra, that if you have Biafra, now is it not these same people who are the politicians who are destroying Nigeria that will be in Biafra? I said, no, it's not true. It's simply not. It's simply not true. So they don't have something to lie on. They cooked up lies that doesn't even make sense. You think if we have Biafra today, Hope Uzodinma will be
that is the lie. When they put that lie, it sounds very good in their mouth.
That even the politicians themselves, they know that once there is an independent state of Biafra, they will have.
They don't have a chance. They don't have a chance. They know.
That's why they are fighting it.
They know. But the showerers of this world, but the showerers of this world, whom people you think have something in their brain, they told the same line. Uncountable number of times I heard shower say the same thing. That if you have Dudua now, there is not the same people. But it's not true. We know it's not true.
It is not true. That is where we disagree with Showore. In as much as we agree in certain things, this is where
of course. Yeah.
Sometimes people will try to bend the truth a little bit to satisfy their own conscience, to their own
agenda.
Their own agenda. Sometimes they bend the truth a little bit. Sometimes they bend it a little bit.
Yeah.
But in our own, we say it raw. It doesn't matter who it is. We say it the way it is, without any political correctness. We just say it and put it out there. That is a bit different between us. Just like in this issue of Donald Trump, you saw his own stance also. His own stance was very, very different. He was speaking of a different thing. He was talking about resources and control and whatnot, which has nothing to do with what Trump is doing.
Oh, okay. You mean he talked about resources? I mean, sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are also a kind of mischief or deception or distraction because well, okay, but let's just face it, okay? If Trump is able to come to Nigeria and sort it out, because trust me, nobody's gonna be able to. Nigeria, forget it. So, but if he's able to come in and stop, first of all, do the because there are options, right? And one of the options will be laid on the table.
Yes.
Stop the Sharia law, because if Nigeria is a secular state, or even if you say it's not a secular state, because maybe secular state will not have like I was listening to one Fulani guy on this TV, on this channel they call Trust TV. I think it's their own version. I think they've created a YouTube channel or TV in the north, right? So they bring their people who are like intellectuals. They come there to speak, towards their own agenda, promote their own agenda. I don't know if you come across that TV. Recently, I started seeing it. It's called Trust.
I think I've seen that Trust TV or something.
Exactly. So I'm running out of my line of thought. But the thing is, oh shit, I've forgotten what I want to talk, my brother. Okay.
They are bringing their own people in their station to push their own line of thought.
Yeah, of course, that's what they are doing. There's something that I wanted to say relating to that. Oku Nigeria, oh my goodness. So, but the thing is that, like all this show, that is where we disagree. Without a doubt, vehemently we disagree, because he's an intelligent man and he knows. I've also sat back to try and figure out why is he doing that, like on this aspect, because there are areas he's doing well, we know that, but on this other area, why is he doing it? Why? How can you? Because you know that these things are just not true. That if Oduduwa have their own country, they will go and take the worst among them. No, they will fight it. They will not allow it, and the Nigerian system will not come in and use Abuja to you know what I mean, to overpower them. It's not going to happen. It's not just going to happen. The syndrome, that big elephant. Is the Nigerians, that Nigeria, that is, and except it's broken up, except you destroy it, you are not getting anywhere. Because again, that yesterday I saw that Precious who was in VOP before, saying that we don't want Nigeria to scatter, that we all want Nigeria to do this, we want Africa to, and I'm looking at her,
You see, those ones, these are people who are trying to maintain their friends, maintain their colleagues, maintain their audience.
And maintain audience.
We are speaking. They can't speak the way we are speaking.
Exactly.
When they talk, you see them cry about the situation. They will cry. But when it comes to solution, they will always run away from the real solution, which is disintegration. And when we speak about disintegration, it is not out of hate.
Yeah.
It is out of love to save life.
Choose.
That is a sincere way to solve the problem.
Yeah.
We can still be friends. We can still do business together. We can still intermarry.
Yeah.
We can still nationalize anything we want. You can still build a house or build any place we want.
Of course. But solve the problem.
Know their boundaries. Let countries be created along value system.
Yeah.
Simple. That is what we are asking for. If you continue to run around it, run after it, run away from it, at the end of the day, that is where everybody is going to land. That is where everything is going to end. Until you go there, the problem will never, ever, ever be solved.
Yeah.
You're only trying to prolong the doomsday. You're only trying to prolong it, delay it. But that doomsday is going to, it must definitely come. Bring soldiers on the ground today and you force these terrorists to go away. It's just a question of time. They will reassemble again.
Nobody's going to force it go away. The only way, bro, let me just say this. You see this terrorism going on in Nigeria. Of course, the Sultan have said some months ago that it's going to be around for maybe even more than 20-something years to come. He said it, not my word. I didn't say it. He said it. And there's a reason why most people don't understand why he used that word, why he said that thing, which he said. But trust me that it's not going to go away. It's not going to. It's either they succeed, take over everywhere, force everybody into the Islamism, or they have their own country, we have our own country, others have theirs. Then people seal up your borders, and make your own rules and laws. If somebody is coming, you know who they are, why they are coming, what they're going to do. Anything other than that, forget it. As long as Nigeria remains, nobody can stop them. That you can take to the bank. And it won't just, nobody can stop them. If Trump if America come, they can take them out, make no mistake. But they will not take out everybody.
No.
They will not take out everybody. You can't take everybody. In Afghanistan, they didn't take them out all. In Iraq, the same. So they will disrupt it. They will set it back, right? And then do the right thing. Because if you don't do the right thing in follow-up, it will get worse. It will get worse. So that's how I see it. That's it.
That's what you are saying. You see, are you going to take out the Sultan of Sokoto? What about Shetima?
Even if you do, they will have another one.
You're going to take away Shetima. And you know how they play their game. Once you touch any one of their leaders, they will say, oh, it is a war against their people.
They get hardened. They harden up.
They will change the narrative immediately. They say, now you are focusing only on the north. Why are you touching their leader? Their leader are not touchable. They are the people that they are above so much. That is the narrative they always play. And the people who will buy it, they are people, the Almajiris over there will buy the idea immediately.
Because there's nothing there for their brain. That is when they will become suicide bomber. The more.
Exactly.
Because they will believe that you are waging war on them because they are Muslim. But meanwhile,
you see, that is the narrative they are already planting. That is what Gumi is already planting.
Yes.
You see why federal government is fighting. Why would Donald Trump talk about Christian genocide? Why is he mentioning Christian? Why mentioning Christian?
That is again
over and over and over and over again. Every single Muslim in the North will see it that Donald Trump is coming to fight on behalf of the Christians alone.
Yeah.
That is the narrative they want to create in their brain. And they have succeeded in that. They are now, Gumi is moving down to Southwest to
sell it. To sell it also. Yeah. And it's easy message.
The only place they don't have a stand to preach such is in the Biafra land.
100%.
That's the only place they cannot come with that message.
Well, that is where Tari.
They are holding meeting. Gumi is holding meeting with the Muslims in Southwest tomorrow.
That is where Asari Dokubo comes in the coastal region. He's the one selling their narrative there, you know.
In that place, they're using Asari Dokubo. You see him shouting, US come, I will fight them personally. I will be in the front line. I look at a man who cannot even stand. A man who cannot even stand for 2 hours.
Fatas. So,
I saw a video where he was showing his house and Rolls Royce he parked and the Range Rovers he parked in his compound.
Yeah.
He was showing them.
Yeah, the money Nigerian government give to him just to control him at the detriment of his people.
Of his people. He was showing a mighty compound and what he's building. In that place he's going to build. Go and check how many rich men are like him in that place. How many schools are there?
The caliphate using him.
24 hours light in that area.
Is that a human being?
Water in that area.
Yeah.
But he was showing his own palace.
Yeah.
Where he was building home with marble. The ground is made with marbles.
Yeah.
He was showing his generator. His generator is powering only his own house.
Oh God.
And his boat to show in a country like that. How can you be proud to show that in your area, in rich oil country, you are still using generator to power your own house?
Yeah.
And you are proudly showing it. You are proudly showing the world that you are using a generator to power your own house. And that is fine for you. You build your own house with marbles. You build a classic mosque in your own house. You show your limousine and your Range Rover and your Rolls Royce packed in your own house.
While your own people are languishing in poverty.
Languishing in poverty.
Then you are happy. You are happy that you are the only one who have a good life, have more than enough money.
He's happy, more than happy.
Working for the caliphate gave him all the money. The caliphate gave him everything to shut his mouth so that he can turn against his own people. That's what it is. It's a shame. It's really sad. It is sad. You know, Mazi, because you were saying something earlier that reminds me of the video of this woman in France she was going all out against Lolo Neka, you know. So I was like, I think in my mind, I said that she's just wrong. Purely, she's just wrong doing that because Neka is in the zoo. That lady is in the zoo doing what she's doing. Huh?
Who is going against the Neka?
The one in France, the one, this Adora, you know. She was saying, she was condemning her for calling for unity, that all Biafra. So she said so many things, you know. But my point is, this woman, she's this Neka, she's intelligent woman, intelligent enough to know how to, you know, present her message. And again, so if you are sitting there in France or Europe, America, wherever, and you are running your mouth, and somebody is in the forefront, in the war zone, is there in the tiger's den, you can't expect that person to speak because knowing fully well that even the Igbo politicians, the governors, they will come against you. So you have to do what you have to do, but also in recognition of the fact that you are surrendered by enemies. So I didn't like how she was just going all out against her, calling her sort of name. But anyway, that's just by the way. So I just wanted to put it out there. Anybody listening to know that she's just trying to damage this woman for no reason, apparently no reason. You leave France, go to Lagos or wherever, sit down there in Nigeria and talk. Let's see how that will work out for you.
My brother, that is why sometimes when I see those people talk, I don't watch their video. I don't even respond to whatever they say because I feel some people, they are just there to create chaos and damage. Sometimes if you are reasonable, and you have common sense, you should always know. That is one thing I look at when I see people speak. There is never a time I expect somebody in Nigeria to speak the way I speak where I am.
Exactly.
It will never happen.
Yeah.
If you see anybody in Nigeria speaking the way I am speaking, you must know.
You know that it's working with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we see people speak from Nigeria, you see, we know there are certain areas that they will never go. There are certain things they will never talk about. There are certain language they will never use.
Yeah.
If they must continue to talk, there are certain things they must not say. It's just like that's a Neka. When a Neka is talking about, you see her always talking about Igbo.
Yeah.
Igbo. You can never, if you're expecting her to come and talk about Biafra and all this, no. She can never use that word Biafra.
Because it's contentious.
Contentious and sensitive. She can never overuse it. So if you're expecting Neka to come and present program the way you present and talk the way you talk, it will never happen.
Just because you sit in France, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
You even have.
There was the day I was playing that Neka program here. Somebody came on the comment section. She said, "This is Neka I'm now supporting. This is Neka I'm promoting. She doesn't support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. She was also against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu." And I look at the guy. I didn't even respond to that message. I saw the
rubbish.
I can respond to it. You see, these people, some of us, we don't use our common sense. We don't apply our common sense to issues.
That is the problem. That is the problem.
Some issues, when things happen, apply your common sense.
Yeah.
You do not. It's just like these lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There are certain things the lawyers will never say.
Of course. Of course.
That is what a lawyer also explained. The reason they stepped back and allowed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to defend himself.
Yeah.
The reason they allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to defend himself, there are certain things, there are limitations to what they will say. As lawyers in Nigeria, there are limitations to what they will say. There are limitations
of course.
to what they will do. That was why they allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to run that affair at that age.
Yeah.
Because the sentence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have already been arranged and agreed upon.
Yeah.
It has been written. So for them to stay here, it would be as if they are the one that led Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the gallows.
Into it. So that will invalidate.
For the government. With their president, it will be much more easier.
Yeah.
But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by his own self was able to put forward everything before the whole world by his own self.
Yeah.
Which the lawyers might not be able to do.
Yeah.
So these are certain things people have to know, that everybody that is in Biafra land, who is an Igbo person, fighting for this freedom of the people, there are certain languages he will not use.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like people, there are people who are in Nigeria now, what they are talking, what they specialize on is Igbo unity.
Mm-hmm.
You see them, their own area of specialization is that Igbo unity.
Which makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
It's a very good step.
Given
them for that.
Yeah, it makes sense given the prevailing circumstance.
Exactly. It makes a great sense. But there are people now who will come and attack them. He say, why you the Igbo people unite? Only Igbo people.
Why not Biafra?
Why not talk about Biafra?
Because they no get sense. Because sense no dey their head.
That is it. That is it. You don't expect people in Nigeria. Nigeria is, our land is still under occupation. It doesn't matter what you say. Even Darlington. Our land is still under occupation. Nigeria is the one running affairs in our land till tomorrow. They are the one in control till tomorrow. Until we take charge of our land, then you can see some people. Even there are some people today that deep down in their heart, the only thing they want is Biafra, nothing else. Yeah. But they have no choice. And Mazi, do you know that Igbo marginalization, yeah. But their target is Biafra. But they can't say it for as long as they are still there. And do you know that even in that Nigeria, these Fulanis, these Northerners, and these elites, even in Yoruba, they know that we don't want that country. They know that. You think they don't know? But they will come out to say that it's not everybody, it's not this, it's not that. But they know. They know that. They know that. They say it's not everybody, but we tell them to conduct referendum. Yeah. Okay. They know also that they are forcing us. Who came here about referendum? He claimed to be an Igbo leader. Okay, why not he now focus on Igbo people for him to find out who are those who want to get out? Exactly. They don't care. With other senators, focus on their own people and conduct internal referendum and know who those who want to go out and those who want to be in. They know that they are forcing us against our will, staying in the Nigeria. They know that. And that also makes it impossible for Nigeria to prosper or to even know peace. It just cannot. The two things doesn't work. Okay? The two things just don't work because they know that they are forcing us against our will. It's more like imprisonment. It's more like a hostage against our will. So you can't have it both ways. I always tell people, I say, you are wasting your time with Nigerians' progress or unity or peace or whatever. It's a waste of time. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen until people said, okay, we form a nation. Either you do a referendum, and if they say they want to stay, fine. If not, then they will, that is only where people will now, those who lose out, because like I said, it's all about the numbers. The majority wins, the minority have no choice but to follow suit. That is how it goes in a normal society. All the my brother, but we are believing that one day, everything that has beginning has an end. Definitely. Let's take a short break and then we come back for the last section of the program.
Of heaven, the
very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you all for being with us on this very program that we are hosting. We have spoken on a very important issues. I believe that we are making sense. All we are doing here is to deliberate on issues. If you want to join us, feel free to join us and hear your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. We are not here to gag you, neither are we here to force word into you. But if you feel you have a superior argument, contrary from what we are saying, feel free to join us, hear your opinion, wherever you are watching. Either you are watching us on TikTok, on YouTube, or on Facebook. Just send in your request. I'll bring you in and you give your own opinion. All we are trying to say is that the only solution to the failed state Nigeria, the contraption called Nigeria, remains Biafra. When we say Biafra, we mean disintegration of Nigeria. The Yoruba people will be on their own. The Northern Caliphate will be on their own. The Middle Belt will be on their own. And Biafra will be on their own. We can still be friends. We can still do business together. We can still intermarry. We can still live wherever we want. But let there be peaceful disintegration of the zoo. That is what we are calling for. And that is the only genuine solution to what is happening in Nigeria today. We will continue to bring it forward and we'll continue to speak about it. The enslavement of the people by the colonial master, more especially the British and the French, that we are seeing playing out in Nigeria today, it is not ordinary. We have seen Nigeria getting itself involved with the colonial masters more and more. From the very first time when we see them brought back the colonial masters' national anthem, you should know that something is wrong. They took away the indigenous national anthem. They brought that of the colonial masters. And these same people come and tell you that the best military government is better than the worst democratic government, which is a lie from the pit of hell. They have told that lie for a very long time. And some of you take that lie and you run with it. Apply your common sense. Don't just follow because people are saying. Don't just follow the popular narrative that the West preach and push out there. Just like they told you that diversity is your strength, which is a very big lie. When they tell this lie in English language, you just take it. Why don't you sit down and think towards what you have just heard and see whether it is true or lie? Diversity being a strength is a lie from the pit of hell. What you have in Nigeria is destructive diversity that is creating the chaos you see today. The instability you see today is created by their false and evil diversity. And that is why we are calling for the end to this entity called the zoo. In Biafra, Africa died. And in Biafra, Africa will resurrect. If you care about the African region, support the disintegration of Nigeria to save life. That is what it's all about. It's not about hate. It's not about pride. It's not about anything. It's not about resource control. It's not about because maybe we are too intelligent. No, it is to save life, to save humanity. If you care truly about human life, support the disintegration of Nigeria and support it now. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in detention today, is because he's pursuing to save life of the indigenous people in that contraction. Mazi Simon Ekpa, the same thing, pursuing to secure the life of the indigenous people in that contraction. Not just the Biafra, the indigenous people. Whether you have an Hausa, whether you're a Yoruba, whether you're an Igbo person, Efik, Ijo, Middle Belt, to save their life. And because saving the life of the innocent is what the West did not, what the colonial master do not want. They don't care. They want the mineral resources to continue to flow. They stand against it. They took away our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they convicted him without any known law, without any written law. They convicted him. They went ahead to pronounce sentence on him. And they flew him to Sokoto, the fastest transfer ever in Nigerian case. The fastest transfer ever. A case was finished in the evening. Before the next morning, he's already in Sokoto. All these are provocations. But thank you where we are today. But I tell you, Biafrans cannot be silent forever. We cannot be silenced, and we cannot remain quiet the way we are forever. A time will come when we will say, enough is enough. That time is drawing very, very close. Everything we are doing today is to call the attention of the world, to pay close attention to what is happening. Step in and end this genocide once and for all. If you don't, you will leave Biafrans no choice than for them to save their own life by themselves. And that we will definitely do without looking back. My brother Christian says something. Go ahead and take the mic before we go into the revision from the media.
Malchus, what did he say?
Go ahead. You have something to say. Go ahead and say it before we go into the media review.
Okay, maybe let's do the media review, or then because I mean, you know, we based off of what they do and say. Yeah. So basically, I don't think I have anything now.
Yeah. So this is some of the information that are coming from the media. This one is reported from Sahara Reporters. You know, this is a River State man.
He has defected.
That was removed before. Finally, he has now joined APC.
He wants saving head.
And that is, tell me, how can you run
a country
that will speak the minds of the people? How can you have leaders that will represent their people in this manner?
Yeah. Yeah.
This man knows very well that River State is PDP.
Yeah.
River State gave him their support. River State chose him, but today you see how the federal power, federal might have forced him.
Because they dealt with him. Yeah.
To abandon his people and join a different camp.
And you call that, and you said civilian, and you said a civilian. Oh my God.
This is this is one of it. Civilian regime they are talking about. Look at it.
Forcing people to cross carpet. That is
against their will.
Against their will. Because we saw he was a PDP, the people voted for him democratically, and then the Nigerian system came and dealt with him mercilessly with nobody coming to his aid. And you see, so he has no choice than to join them, because they say if you can't beat them, you know. So you see what? So you call Nigeria? Oh my God! And because Oshomola said that you join APC, your sins will be forgiven. And that is a country you are proud to, and you say you want to. You can't. How do you change it? You know you cannot change it, but you are fighting for your own relevance. You are. You see some of these boys, the young ones, they are grooming them. Nigeria has no future. You see the very dark man. You see the very dark man. Some other ones, they are grooming. Bro, take this to the bank. They are grooming them. All these things they are doing in Nigeria. Oh, he's fighting for the masses. Oh, Ashi, pure lies.
Which masses? That one, you see, already he is already exercising his own power on media.
Okay.
Claiming to be the strongest man in the social media.
Okay. That's
he's already exercising his own monopoly power in the social media. When he talks with so much pride.
You think he will now when it?
He can go and do anything and go away with it.
Oh God, Nigeria, bro. Oh my goodness, there is no future. The only solution is everybody go your way, so that if you go, the authority, the government, the law, the constitution of any given place will be such that nobody will be above it, and nobody will be under it. This is what happens in a functioning society. In a society where you have human beings, this is what happens. Nobody will be above the law, and nobody will be underneath. That we saw it in the United States, where a whole Trump, a billionaire, a president, you know, who was now trying to run for a second term, it was obvious that he wasn't above the law when they were dragging him from court to court.
In and out of the court.
Like I said, with a mugshot. You know what it means? A president, an ex-president vying for a second term, with a mugshot put in that place, a picture of him was taken all over the world. So this is the thing. So my point is, those saying Nigeria go better, you never know. There's nothing in your head. Because as these Tunubus, they are doing all this Jagaban, the younger ones are learning, they're coming with pretense. Oh, he's fighting for the people. But I've seen very dark man, how much power intoxicated he can be. When he was talking about money, the type of money he has now, right? And now as we speak, I'm telling you that he's gonna, if God forbid Nigeria continues, that's how he's gonna grow politically, grow influentially, grow financially, and at some point when he grab power, he will want more money, he will want more power. He begin to exercise it.
That is exactly how Tinubu started.
100% Jagaban.
That is exactly how Tinubu started.
Okay.
In the name of fighting for masses, fighting for democracy.
Yeah.
He went and hijacked Lagos State. Before you know it, he became a warlord in Lagos State.
Yeah.
That is how he started. Without any degree, he didn't go to school.
Nothing.
Every certificate Tinubu using is
forgery. Oluwole, everything.
And he was able to buy his way to become a president.
Yeah, buy the judges, buy judiciary, buy everything.
In a country where you have professors.
Those are the trajectory with all these VDM, and there are so many of them in different places exercising power. They don't have power yet. Maybe they have a little, but they're exercising it. You can see how they will tell you that they are heaven and earth, they are this, they are that. You don't know now something they hungry them. All that thing they are doing, now power they hungry them. When they get it, maybe when they become now politically one thing or the other, that is where you see these people, the true. We've been around. We know how these things work. There's no solution. There's no future for Nigeria. People who are saying it, either, like you said earlier, they're trying to play along with their followers, or, to keep. It's one thing or the other. About the hardcore truth is that nothing's going to work in Nigeria. Nothing's going to change. It will get worse and worse as we move along, because the foundation is so evil and corrupt, and it's not good. Not be that the one who will be Christopher Musa now. He has shown the picture of him and Christopher Musa having a dialogue. You know what I mean, Mazi?
Oh, that is it.
This very dark man, you think it's ordinary that he's doing all that, showing you. how much influence he is already garnered.
Exactly. Exactly. He's just sampling them now.
Yeah.
They are grooming all of these are people that they are grooming on the ground.
They are grooming them to take over.
And all this while, every time he talk, have you seen him talk about attack the northern caliphate?
For where? For where?
I've never seen him speak anything about the northern caliphate.
Yeah, the other day he came out to say that the Fulanis called him to complain about. You see that? You see how they are playing?
So this is the democracy they are talking about. Look at the forcing Ubara to dump PDP and join APC.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what the man in Benin Republic did that made these people they want to overthrow him.
Yeah. And the colonial master step in.
The colonial master step in. If you go and check the real story of what is happening in Benin Republic, this is exactly what the president is doing. Changing every single thing, changing every rule.
Yeah.
Taking control. Even when he told them he wants to step down. He wants to step down now, go into the parliament to be controlling on the ground.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did. That the military stepped in. And the main people who sent him for that mission now said, and mind you, this president of Benin Republic is just like Tinubu.
100%.
The man was part of every government that have come in the past.
Yeah, mafia.
A business mogul.
Yeah.
They made him so rich, controlling from outside until he became a president. Just like
yeah.
Tinubu.
Yeah.
He just the same thing with Tinubu.
Those are colonial playbooks. Because during the colonial time, to this how they prompt up people who they use to massacre and to subjugate their people. So it's that same playbook that continues. So that when you see people like Burkina Faso, they are trying to remove their head from the colonial encirclement, the colonial strangulation. This is what is happening.
Never remove it through political means, through this.
Never. Yeah, never.
You can never remove them through democracy. All these colonial masters, you can never.
Yeah, because
when you have to go to Canaan House to give a speech to become a president.
Yeah. And as they are doing it, that is how, like you say, they are grooming the young ones that will take over, and the music will continue to play. So there's nothing's going to change. Can you imagine that this guy now from River State has now joined them? You know, so one in the book now. We see what they are doing. So that my brother, oh there you go. And another unfortunate is that they have the gullible followers, because they deprive you of ability to get a quality education where you can even think like human being. So it's just oh my God. Oh, there you go.
Look at this one. Former AGF Malami detained overnight as EFCC probe 46 bank accounts.
He's a sponsor of terrorism. Mm-hmm.
And forget about this drama. All this is a distraction. They will never do anything to him. Malami
nothing.
This one is just to distract people's attention.
Yeah.
Detained overnight as EFCC probes 46 bank accounts.
Look at that.
Under him. 46 bank accounts. This is a man who they have indicted in all the fraud he committed, the money he has stolen. He's not even hiding about it. There was one what is his name? There's one that this guy in China interviewed. One man that came and spoke about how many billions of dollars that this man stole. That even when he went to bring the case and present to Buhari, this man came and began to mock him and say, "Okay, you have gone to Buhari. Then what was your?"
Well, what happened? Yeah. That is the arrogance. Mm-hmm.
And you think that this one, the Tinubu is doing, this one is just a distraction.
Just
proving them. So
as usual.
He's not doing anything.
As usual. To fool the gullible.
If it to be a man from the southeast that has this 46 bank account, you think they will only detain him overnight.
These are untouchable people now. These guys are untouchable. When he was there, this guy was spending billions like tomorrow. Oh my God, this guy, Malami guy.
Who sponsored the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Who spearheaded the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu?
Of course.
And he was the one who came gladly announced it in Hausa language in their national TV.
That they've gotten him. Mm-hmm.
They got him and celebrated.
And
was one
Tinubu,
who put the fake charges of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that they begin to amend. The charges he presented, all the charges he put on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was amended.
Mazi, Tinubu is not.
All the charges were quashed, and today they amended and brought a new ones.
Tinubu is not any different from this Malami. He's not any different. They are just fooling the gullible people with all this. Because if you go on YouTube now, you will see the agents, all these Tinubu YouTube warriors that Tinubu has caged the Northerners, Tinubu has caged the Fulanis, Tinubu has done this to us as nothing. Yaya Bello, is it Yaya Bello, who sold billions and billions? Not till this day, nothing.
This one, your brother, see what your brother talk. Nigeria, Peter Obi is saying, Nigeria now, a nation of unending tragedy. Peter Obi laments amid killing in Adamawa, Anambra, and Sokoto.
They're all the same. Useless people. He's another one, though, another madman. Why do I say that? Why do I say that? Because he knows that there's no solution through Nigeria. He knows that. But he also wants to put his name there as one of the, that name tag. That is what they are all looking for. And selfishness. What Peter Obi, he is not, even if Peter Obi become president, he knows he can't do nothing. He can't do nothing. The same caliphate that works for the British, we put him where they want to put him, okay? And he will spend his 4 years or 8 years, as the case may be, and he goes out. Yes, he might be able to do one or two things, but it's not fundamentally. It's not going to change the trajectory, the whole thing. It's not going to change much. So that is the thing.
This one says Ghanaians socialist movement warns ECOWAS against endorsing Talon amid democratic decline in Benin Republic.
Okay.
All these ones are Western
puppets. Western puppets.
ECOWAS, AU, and all whatnot.
Yeah.
They are all working for the colonial master.
They are the one holding Africa down. Those are the tools, the mechanism that the colonial master is using to hold them down. And I tell you with a provable evidence that the same colonial master is the one sponsoring ECOWAS and all these African organizations. They are the one paying them.
You can say Burkina Faso releases 11 Nigerian officers detained after controversial Air Force landing. This one say Nigerian police IG order commands to strengthen security for court judges nationwide.
Look at that. Look at him, an illegitimate guy. You know the history.
Very illegitimate. Very illegitimate.
How can that's why you can't get result, because you cannot be doing something. You who is doing it, you want to do something good, but you who is doing it, it's not good. Fundamentally, how is it going to work? A man who is, no, Nigeria. What do you
building legality on illegality. This one says, Amnesty International condemned Nigerian military over killing of female protesters in Adamawa. This is all they do, condemn, but no action.
You know that Amnesty International too, that then they fund them all, the same playbook, the same colonial.
The same colonial masters, they fund them. That is why in all the information they have, no action.
No action. So
they have been reporting the killing of the IPOB members.
Yeah, but no action. No action. Yeah, the British
recorded evidence, video evidence, picture evidence.
Yeah, but no action. But no action. So the same colonial master that is funding and sponsoring all this amnesty and the rest of it, they will make them, they come out and speak, publish it, this, that. But you will be expecting, one would expect a concrete action, remedy, or responsibility. Nothing. It ends there.
Do you know the amount of human rights abuse that have been recorded by Amnesty against Nigeria?
Yeah.
None of their leaders have been held accountable. Nobody. Not the police, not the army. We didn't see anyone in ICC.
No one.
But meanwhile, every time we're recording, just now, another one protested. 9 women.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Without arms. In
the hospital. In a normal society, the president of that country will leave office. He will resign because the box comes. The box. Well, you know what it means? Nine for protesting.
Every one of them should be arrested.
But nothing will happen. No.
They will face the gallows, all of them.
But it ends there.
Civilian regime. Oh, this is civilian regime. Oh, they are telling you.
Yeah.
Civilian regime.
So demonic country.
Very demonic. Nothing well. This one here is saying over 600,000 Christians in Benue alone now living in IDP camps. U.S. congressman raises alarm during visit.
Yeah. Now, Mazi,
they came by themselves to visit and see things by themselves.
They went to IDP camp. Mazi, they went to IDP camp, huh?
Yes, that's the picture. They went to IDP camp. These people they were interviewing.
So the question that should be asked is, why is it that the Nigerian government doesn't move swiftly like they did in another country to take out these criminals, these terrorists who invaded them, send them to IDP camp and occupy their place? So why not invade these terrorists who occupy their place, take them out and bring these people back to their home? So why are they not? Oh, okay. You see the gang ups there. That is the conspiracy right there for you. That is that global conspiracy. But nobody is talking about it. But let's see what US will come up with. Having seen this now, 600,000. Okay. Yeah.
600,000 Christians.
Yeah.
You can imagine. These
some countries
that have their own land, in their own land, they are refugee in their land.
Yeah.
In their own country.
And you will not see a journalist. You will not see a journalist. All these Yoruba journalists, Asheun and Abati and the rest of them, they will not hold Tinubu accountable or any government. Why is it okay that these terrorists, and they say they are not Nigerians, will come in, invade these people, send them to IDP camp, and they just remain there perpetually? And some of them, they are born there, they become adults in IDP camp. How is that acceptable? They will not see the president that hold it.
They married there. Some people have been there for 50 years. They were born there, they got married there, they are still there. See, More, a member of U.S. House of Representatives representing West Virginia, 2nd District, said they met with dozens of Christians who were driven from their homes and subjected to horrific violence. More than 600,000 displaced Christians are sheltering in internally displaced persons IDP camp in Benue State, according to grim account shared by United States Congressman Raleigh M. Moore following a visit to region. Moore, a member of U.S. House of Representatives representing West Virginia, 2nd District, said he met with dozens of Christians who were driven from their homes and subjected to horrific violence. So this one is not we online saying they came by themselves, they watched and they saw.
Yeah. So, and Mazi, do you know that already before this, because I'm sure that this is today, news today, probably, huh? Hello?
Yeah, this is today. This is today, about 3 hours ago.
Yeah, you know why I said that it's probably today? Because Ruben Abati and their likes, they are already celebrating that the U.S. fact finders came and they agreed that Tinubu is doing well, that they cannot. Oh my God, they're going so
very evil. This news I'm reading now is just 3 hours ago.
Let me tell you what happened, because this Congress guy, he came on a mission, a serious mission. And afterwards, he met with the people and He told them that it's okay, that he has seen what he came to see, right? And as usual, the propagandists, the evil people, the Reuben Abatis of this one, and the rest of them, they said that he has came, he has seen, he has concluded, and he has agreed that Tinubu is doing well, that they will now cooperate, blah, blah, blah. But it's today now, which is the normal procedure, is giving out to the U.S. government, the Trump administration, what he sees, right? This is so because Reuben Abati, why I'm mentioning his name is that basically it seemed that I heard him say it, that if you try to change the wrong thing, then you're at fault. That is indirectly what Reuben Abati is saying. That if you attempt to do the right thing, you create more problem. How does that work? So if you try to remove Sharia from Nigerian constitution as a secular country, then you create more problem. If you want to drive out the terrorists who occupies the land of these indigenous people and bring them back there, you create additional problem. That is what Reuben is saying invariably. Don't you agree?
That is what he's saying. That is exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what Reuben is saying.
Okay.
Mad people.
So then we continue to stay in IDP camps, so in a swamp, suffering, while someone else occupied their home, their ancestral home. What kind of society is that?
I love the fact that they got first-hand information.
Yeah.
More said he described the testimony as horrible, adding that they would remain with him for the rest of my life.
Jesus.
In series of posts on his X handle, Moore counted multiple cases of extreme brutality alleged carried out during attack on villages. According to him, one woman was forced to watch as armed assailant killed her husband and 5 children.
Oh my God.
Before she narrowly escaped with her unborn baby.
Oh God.
This is how horrible it was. Another survivor, he said, had her family murdered in front of her.
Yeah.
After which attackers ripped her baby from her womb.
Yeah.
Moore also described meeting a man whose family was hacked to death before his own arm was permanently mangled in the assault.
Yeah.
These Christians should be able to live in their ancestral homeland without fear.
Exactly.
Moore wrote, condemning what he described as genocidal violence.
Oh, Chineke Gozie.
Christians communities. You see, this is the actual finding. But go to their media, you will see them saying a different thing.
Yes.
This is the actual finding, what the people that came to Nigeria saw. First-hand information from the victims.
Yeah.
From eyewitness account. This one will be me sit down here and talk, not Abati talking.
Yeah.
This is the real finding of the people that we are reading here. He warned that the scale of displacement in Benue alone signals a dispensing humanitarian crisis and called for greater international attention to the plight of survivors now living in crowded, under-resourced IDP camp.
Oh!
The congressman also shared photographs from his visit showing victims of the violence and the condition inside the camp. Authorities in Nigeria and international rights group have long documented recurrent attacks on farming communities across the Middle Belt, though casualty figures and the identities of perpetrators often remain contested. More accounts add to growing call for foreign lawmakers, humanitarian advocates, and local leaders for urgent intervention to protect vulnerable population and address the root causes of the violence. So they can't escape it this time around.
Choose.
Under Donald Trump, their bribe no go work. Their bribe no go work. He no go work.
Yeah, he no go work.
When
they
you
tried.
see Trump sends lawmakers from the US
to go and verify.
Government jet, with presidential jet to come
and verify. Yeah. And you know, in my mind, I was like, okay, now this American, you know, they're here. Now I was like, so this jihadist, this Sultanist, Satan of Sokoto and the rest of them who are sponsoring the Fulani terrorists and the jihadists, why don't they tell the terrorists to go and attack this American entourage that came? But you know what? They will not do it for so many reasons. But what they do on the other hand is they will disarm these vulnerable Christians in the Middle Belt and some other places. They will not let them have arms to defend themselves, while the Fulanis will come in and slaughter people unhindered and drive them out. So, seeing these things, then it's obvious for you to know that Tinubu has a question at The Hague, at ICC. He has a question to answer, because for more than 2 years, going to 3 years, he did nothing. It happened under his watch, because that late impost of Buhari is gone to go and face his own judgment. Tinubu has to face his own judgment here. And we will continue to write. These things happen under Tinubu's watch. We've seen it happen. People who allows it as authority, they allow this ethnic cleansing, because this is ethnic cleansing. Do you know that?
Yes, of course.
So it's against international law. It happened under Tinubu, and we continue to write. So Tinubu, one way or the other, except he dies, we have a question to answer why he allowed ethnic cleansing to happen under his watch. Under his watch. This is purely United States government effort to right the wrong. He did nothing. See, today he continued to sit down there. So, my brother, because now this whole thing will come back to Trump, to the government, and they will now, the follow-up, we will see what happens.
Exactly. And this is just Benue State alone, 600,000 Christians in Benue alone. Now living in IDP camp.
Yeah.
You can imagine what they will see if they go to Plateau State.
Okay.
And you see another thing they were doing during that time this we are visit. Do you know that they were conducting false flag in Biafra land to divert their attention?
Exactly. Yeah.
They were conducting that was
Anambra.
Attack in Anambra State.
Yeah.
They attacked a church and they told us unknown gunmen. They say gunmen attacked the church, the wife of the pastor.
Soludo
was there playing the false flag for them to divert their attention. Just to show them that this is also happening in Biafra land though.
Diego. Christian. Mm-hmm.
That is what they were trying to do. But the
no, Soludo comes for the first time. Christian. Soludo.
These people.
Yeah.
I thank you. When you destroy a man, he will make them deaf and dumb, and the time has come for their destruction. They cannot escape it. Not now. They cannot escape it.
I can't thank God enough for that man, Ralimo, his name, right? That is Ralimo, yeah. So I can't thank God enough for him that he did not allow himself to be bought over. But you also understand, he's a Christian. That guy is a Christian who has feeling and concern for innocent Christians being genocided in Nigeria. Because trust me, do you know that Ruben Abati was telling Tinubu to go and spend whatever it cost to lobby? He said it on his channel, maybe a day or two ago, that Tinubu, that they now said that they are satisfied that Tinubu is doing well, but that Tinubu should not end it there, that he must now invest money, no matter the cost, to get lobbyists. Imagine, if you think I'm making this up, he said it. Okay, so to go and lobby. So instead of solving the problem, instead of tackling the problem, you want them to go and continue to lobby, to buy people, to tell lies, to cover up the truth.
Which is their national anthem now. When something that money cannot solve, put more money.
More money will solve it. How evil can a person be to say a thing like that? That you are so-called fellow Nigerians, they are living in penury in their own land, and you don't tell Tinubu to go out there and swiftly send those people and bring them back to their homeland. No, you don't want that. Rather, you want him to go and use money and propaganda to cover it up. Then if, man, this is crazy. Unbelievable.
This one is Tinubu's wife. After she has messed up, I don't know the kind of rank they are giving her. She's now wearing crown like a queen of England.
Now, wow.
You now have a queen of Nigeria.
Hey.
They gave her a title. In that title, where she insulted this governor that always dance. Now she's coming to say, don't amplify my minor misstep. She called it minor misstep. He said, don't amplify my minor misstep. This really tells Nigerians amid controversy with Osun Governor Adeleke.
And there's still a pastor.
She's not denying it though. She's calling it minor mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. Just overlook it and move on. And they say pastor, and they send a pastor Ibio.
Pastor my food.
Adeboye their time.
Nigeria is now their property. Nigeria is now the property of Tinubu and family. They have crowned her wife. His wife. You know, see what big thing where she wear for her. And the new queen of England.
Yeah.
Nigeria don't get their own queen.
Yeah.
Oh God. God have mercy. God have mercy. This one for Buddha. This is what I was saying. This is where Wole Soyinka was talking about Tinubu's son. Tinubu's son with convoy that ordinary person cannot carry.
Amusu, Amusu, no. Workers of iniquity.
When you support evil, that evil will come after you now. They are the one that supporting. See, battalion of soldiers guarding Tinubu's son, enough to crush Benin Republic uprising.
Oh God.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
The battalion of soldiers guarding Tinubu's son is enough to crush Benin Republic uprising.
Yeah.
You can imagine. Now the country where they tell you say they don't get enough soldiers, so
yeah.
To the extent they want to force people to be recruited into military. But the son of the president is going with a convoy that is enough to quell a coup in another country. Falana asked Nigeria to embrace political pluralism if it wants to avoid military coup. These are connivers. These are
traitors. 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 Yeah.
Never speak the truth.
They want one Nigeria, but they are the ones sowing the seed of disunity. I remember during the NSAS, the position he took. This man, that's why my strong opinion is, I don't hate any particular group, but they must be on their own so that they can run their own affairs as they choose. If hypocrisy and this is what they delight in, let them continue in it in their country.
It should be a shame to him that his own son led NSAS, and today some people are still being jailed because of that NSAS. They are still in prison because of NSAS.
But his own son,
NSAS, and they're not out, but his son led it.
Yeah.
Today they are charging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for NSAS. They are charging for NSAS, but his own son led that NSAS protest.
Exactly. That is the country you want.
But that was what they used to sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's sitting there talking about pluralism and speaking grammar. Nonsense people. This one, another double standard woman also.
Of course, we know.
Aisha Yusuf condemned military deployment to Benin Republic.
We know.
When it is convenient for them, they will come and speak. When it is not convenient, it is not enough to talk about the problem. What about solution?
Yeah.
That is the difference with these people. None of them is talking about the solution to the madness in Nigeria. The only people that are genuinely speaking about the solution are those of us who are calling for the end to this entity, this forceful amalgamation.
Because that is the only solution.
End it. If we can be together, we can come back and write another constitution for ourselves to be together.
Yeah.
Just like the Europeans did.
Yeah.
Just like the Europeans did. Just like the Asians did.
Just like the America did too.
What the Lamanites can do? They dismantled all those useless boundaries.
Yeah.
The former USSR was dismantled completely. And now every one of them is member of the same European Union, contributing and making things work. According to agreement that they wrote that is favorable to all of them. So why are you now stopping the dismantling of this entity, this evil entity, this forceful amalgamation that every one of us agree that we didn't sign up to it?
Yeah.
Every one of them, when they speak, they will tell you, oh, we did not sign up to this very constitution. We did not sign up to this agreement. Then what do you do? When you now agree with all of us that the foundation is faulty. When you buy a house and you discover that the foundation of this house is faulty and you want to build a new structure on that house, what do? You buy a land that is a house there with already made foundation, and you know that this foundation cannot carry the building you want to build on top. Do you now go and build on that foundation? Say, oh, now they have left foundation already. No need to destroy the foundation. Let me build a skyscraper on that foundation. What do? You destroy the foundation, lay a new foundation that can carry the new structure that you want. That is what sensible people do. You don't go and build a skyscraper on a foundation that was meant to carry carry a downstairs, not even a one-story building. The foundation that is meant to carry a downstairs, you go there just because there's a foundation. You go and begin to build a skyscraper on it. You are setting a trap to kill yourself, a suicide mission. What a sensible man do, what a sensible person does. Once you want to build it, the engineer will look at that and see that the foundation there cannot be able to carry a skyscraper. The entire building will be destroyed. A new foundation will be laid, and then you start building. But look at these people. When they come, they talk. Oh, you condemn the deployment of this in Benin. Condemn. For you to stop this evil that is happening in one place or the other. Don't choose. Let that foundation be destroyed. Throw the dustbin where it belongs. Lay a new foundation. And that is what we, the Biafran people, are calling for. Disintegration of the zoo. Dismantle it. Go back to who you were before.
Yeah.
We can now come back and write a constitution on how we can operate together. Either as in one country or as neighbors.
Yeah.
It depends on us. This is what we are asking for. But you people, you will always complain. When it is convenient for you, you come and shout, and you go back. Ghana summoned Israeli envoy, threatens retaliation over maltreatment.
Who is maltreating who?
I don't know who maltreats who. I don't know the content of their decision. I'm not ready to go and read that. I'm not ready to go and read that. Bandit kingpin, Bello Truji, deputy, Kalamu, killed by Nigerian troops in Sokoto.
Not true. Oku.
You know how many times they killed Shakao?
Truji. Yeah, Shakao.
I have not stayed. I want to do that Shakao program. I wanted to do it the other day and we missed it, and I have not. Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
somebody that revealed how Shakao was killed and the game the Nigerian government played through that Shakao program. I think we will play that program tomorrow to read. So this is why you are seeing all this is because of this pressure from US. But different kinds of distraction.
Tinubu is deceiving Nigeria, gullible people. People when pray know they are ahead.
And meanwhile, the Truji himself is walking about everywhere, carrying his convoy, going for
yes, exactly.
He's going for peace everywhere. Now him deputy, now you go kill. This one where we know where his name is. He say his name na deputy Kalamu killed by Nigerian troop in Sokoto.
Yeah, just say it. Right, put it on the front page. Who cares? Just say it. That's all. That's what they do.
Yes,
Tinubu.
And what happened? Nonsense. Adamawa women shot dead by Nigerian soldiers. 7 mass burial.
Giving mass
identity released.
Yes, yeah.
Adamawa women shot dead by Nigerian soldiers. Giving mass burial. You see, they gave them mass burial.
Yeah. in a country.
In a country.
Hey,
country.
What is the offense? That is the question. What is the offense? So people won't be the criminal when they sponsor terrorism, when they kill people. They are not innocent women just protesting peacefully. You just end their life like that, and you gave them mass burial. Hey, audio.
This one said Australia becomes first country to ban social media for under 16s as teenagers say goodbye online. They need to ban them because what do they do for social media today? You need to ban.
Yeah, for children. Yeah, for children.
For children, 16 years downwards, they stop them. The first country to ban them. 16 years downward, Australia. So that's all we have for today from their conventional media, and we will continue to speak. We will continue to do what we have to do, and continue to talk about every issues that comes out, and continue to encourage Biafrans to always stand on their ground and do what they have to do. So I appreciate everybody that have been with us on this program. We're going to be rounding up now, and we're going to be taking our closing remarks as we round up. Now, hopefully, later in the evening, I might come back again for the evening section. So we've got to try as much as possible. As you all have known, we will continue to, it is our duty to continue to put forward the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the limelight. If you look at the media, they want it to die.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the forceful conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the fraudulent conviction, and the illegal sentence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They're not talking about it. They have moved on.
Yeah.
They have moved on, and that is how Nigeria works. They move on. Once they talk about that issue, first, second, they will move on.
Just like this mass burial.
We must not move on. Don't move on.
Just like this massacre now, 7 or 9 people. The next 2-3 days, that one don't end there.
You don't end. You don't hear about it again.
No accountability, nothing.
No accountability. And they move on as if nothing happened.
Yeah, and it will happen again.
That is how we operate. So we must continue to highlight this very case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And every one of you are aware that even the transfer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Sokoto to nearby place where he can go for his appeal, they have postponed the hearing to 27th of next month.
Wow.
From that 27th of next month, it will be less than 1 month for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to appeal. The 90 days he has, by 27th of next month, the 90 days will be remaining either 1 month or less than 1 month.
So they want it to expire.
Exactly. You can see the strategies they are applying.
And that is a country under civilian rule.
You can imagine.
Okay.
You can imagine what they are doing. They intentionally held it. They intentionally delayed it.
Yeah.
You can imagine a hearing. They prolonged a hearing. Bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to a place. The case is still on. A place where he can process his case. And that motion was postponed to 27th of January.
Yeah.
Now check. As at that 27th of January, how many days remaining?
How many days?
And nobody is even sure if they are going to uphold that very motion to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know how Nigeria works. So you can see their strategy. They want to stall. They want to even make it difficult for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to appeal.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't appeal. So that is why you must continue to highlight the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Don't ignore it. Continue to talk about it. The recolonization of Nigeria is even happening today as we speak. It's happening. You can now see that France is now, Macron is now the one that is dictating what will happen.
Because the British, they are the most subtle set of people you can. These guys, they are not called Great Britain for nothing, bro. Trust me. You won't even know. Oh my God, that is, if they eat you underneath, they blow you. This is what they do. You won't know.
They're using France now to push their agenda.
Yeah.
It is France.
That's Britain for you. Yeah. You won't know. An ordinary eye, you won't see them in action. You have to be really, really, because in the only thief they feel catch thief. to know that these are unbelievable. So, how do you go, my brother?
Yes, sir. Let's hear from Ocean. Ocean, go ahead, unmute yourself. Let's hear from you, Ocean. You're welcome.
They were my two survivor.
Welcome.
They were my brother.
Christian.
Christian. I greet you. I greet everyone that has spoken. And I greet Biafrans around the globe according to your time zone. The lovers of freedom, I greet you all. The lovers of justice and equity, I greet you all. Mazi to survival. You see, I love that topic, this last one. We must have to make sure that the candle of mentioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the injustice that have been meted on him, the unjustifiable condemnation that they give, the sentence that they pronounce on him, we must have to make sure that the candle keep burning until the right thing is done.
Yes.
Every morning, every afternoon, every night, it has to be on our lips as we drink water and as we eat. This is very, very important. And how it's going to work is to make sure that me, you to survivor, every Biafran, every lovers of freedom, so that the wills and the wishes of the enemies will not prevail against their plot or their plans against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
They will never succeed.
They will never. And just like you said, yesterday I noticed that from the tweet of Ijimako, and I highlighted it from Mazi Kai Report channel, that this thing happens like that. And you said something that is very, very important here, that they did that targeting the days, because I think he has 90 days to appeal. Yes. So by 27th of next month, it's gonna remain about I think about 60 days or so, right? So
it's not up to 60 days. By next, it will not be up to 60 days. It's less than.
Okay. Good. So let us continue talking on that. Every forum and every program we visit, we must remind all our people to continue mentioning that, both on the Twitters, both on every network we comes across. And I will say this: while we are talking, if the lawyers or the handlers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case are listening, it is very, very important that they have to know the game that this Nigerian government, the corrupt judges, including the man who sentenced him, what is that his name? Justice Omotosho. We should know their plan very well. And the handlers of the case should know how to play the chess. At least it has to, they have to play it in double way. In case this one didn't go, the other one will go. They must have to have multiple exits on that. If they refuse to, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just trying to put this advice. In case they refuse or delay to bring him to the court where he will appeal of that judgment or take the procedures, the lawyers will know the best thing to do. Once they are rejecting, they will submit immediately there, submit another motion, depending on their delay or their dispute. I think you will understand what I'm trying to say, Mas choose. Yeah. So the lawyers should do their best to to not to play into their hands. It's very, very important. Now, having said that, you see, I see where you are reading about what the old man, the old confused man in Yoruba land, which is the one that called himself professor. He's saying that thousands of soldiers died in their first son. Yes, their first son, Tinubu son, that they are enough to quench the military coup in what do you call it?
Benin Republic.
In Benin Republic, yes. Now, you see, this is where the Nigerian people should, try what you call counter, let them count the things very well. How do you say it in English? Oh my God. Let them just revalue the situation very well. Now, Soyinka have not never spoken against the killings that is going on, even the one involved in his own region. In our unjust state, Kwara state, the one that is going on in Ekiti, in Obasanjo's town, which is Ogun State. You have not seen this man, Soyinka, have not said anything against the Fulani taking over Lagos State. It is happening, and they are hiding it. Now, you have not said on the phone. Yeah, good morning, sir. You have not said anything. You have not said anything against the massacre that is going on in the north. The Christians massacre in all around Nigeria, including that one of Biafra land. You have not said anything about that. You have not said anything about the killing of a general, two-star general. In Nigeria, two-star general was called for his backup and given his location as they requested from him. And that location was revealed to the terrorists, ISWAP and Boko Haram, and they captured him and killed him. Until today, they did not talk about it. But today, Mazi survivor, is it not amazing to you? Is it not incredible to you that within an hour, a Nigerian fighter jet left the coast of Nigeria, West Africa, and arrived in Benin Republic and struck precisely to where they wanted them into strike? Is it not incredible? Nigerians, the world at large, is this not incredible? This is a country where since 2015, let us take the one that is closed, 2015 till date, every blessed day, as we are talking on this program now, the terrorists, ISWAP, Boko Harams, Fulani terrorists and their headsmen are killing people as we are talking on deadly light. No helicopter chopper, no military fighter jet have struck them precisely for once. Is this not incredible? I will tell you this. About 5 times they pretended to strike the terrorists in Borno State. Mazi survivor, you know the result. Instead of them to strike citizens, now they say it's a mistake. Good. Instead of them to strike the ISWAP, they allow them to do their things. Why they strike the Christians communities, and they come out to cry, "Oh, it was a mistake." The first one was mistake. The second one was mistake. The third one was mistake. The fourth one was mistake, and the fifth one was mistake. All in different time, in different months. What did you call that? The lovers of justice, the lovers of freedom, the lovers of truth. What did you call that? This is a country whereby in Benue State, they have taken a lot of communities, even in Castina, the former president state, out of 31 local government, these criminal terrorists have taken 21 local government out of it, operating as we are talking. They have not have any precision to strike the people, the terrorists, but they are very fast in going to Benin Republic under 1 hour, under the command of Macron, the French president or prime minister. He sent his boy Tinubu, and that one run like a child that the mother sent to go and get akara. But thank God for what happened. The world is commending Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, for him standing up as this Nigerian terrorist government terrorizes his state space by invading it. Traoré have done the right thing by bringing that their jet down. I think the one who was supposed to, if we are to advise him, he's supposed to bring that jet, the jet 2 down, that jet that passed through his place and bomb. Any other time they want to violate, bring it down. If you refuse to bring down, shut it down. It violate your airspace. Don't play with these people. So we are commending Ibrahim Traoré. Don't release those people that you are having. You must have to hold them until they free Biafra.
He has released them already.
They have released them.
Yeah, he has released 11 people that he released them.
But he's holding the jet.
I think the jet is still there. He's still holding the jet. I think he's holding the jet. They only talked about the release. He had released the 11 people.
If you have released them, I don't think it's right for them to be released within this thing. You understand? I don't think it is right for him to release them like that.
He might have his own reason. The government might have their own reason why they did so.
Yeah. You're right. They might have made their own reason.
They have made a clear statement to them that we cannot violate their airspace, and they let them know that they are watching.
Yes,
exactly. Other people, not those people. They can't bully them. So if they try it again, it will be a different ballgame.
Exactly. So Ibrahim Traoré have done the justice, have done the right thing, and that is what every other nearby country should do, because you cannot be going to fight for the people who are fighting for their own country. Why in your own house people are being killed, slaughtered like rats on daily basis, and you leave the invaders out? You can't do that. It is unacceptable. So thank you much to Survivor for bringing this topic for this morning. It is very good. Biafrans, we need to do our own part. This is the time, and those who are reasonable in the quest of our Biafra quest, those who are lovers of truth, those who love Biafra to be free, for us to actualize Biafra, you know what to do. We need everybody to be on board. We need every hand, especially this time. We must have to profit this very situation that is going on now in the Benin Republic, and the thing that is going on in Nigeria with what Trump is doing. Let us profit it in a very maximum way. Let us come all together and do the needful. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must have to be released unconditionally. Mazi Simon Ekpa must have to be released unconditionally. So our energies should be channeled towards that. Even if you decide not to come together, focus your attention on what is right. Very, very important for us. Thank you, my survivor. Thank you, my brother Chris.
Thank you, brother.
And every other person that have listened, and those who will listen thereafter, like the program and share the programs accordingly. It is very important. If you don't share it, others may not get this message, but if you share it, it is a plus for us. My survival, I want to thank you for giving me this privilege. Last time I came, I've came many times, but it's like you ignored me. I wasn't emotional about that anyway, but thank God that today.
Well, unless I don't see, if I don't see you, or maybe if I'm like today now, we are rounding up. We are in closing remarks before I saw you. Once I see you, why not?
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. May God bless us.
Thank you, my beloved brother. I appreciate you, Ocean. Thank you so much for your support. I can understand. It's not easy. Sometimes people are working, and that is why I don't hold people when I don't see them around. People are working. Sometimes you are joining us even from the working place. You have to join. Sometimes you'll be on your break time. So whenever anybody has time to join, I will always give that time for the person to speak, except I don't see it, or maybe I have an emergency on my own side while I'm living. So as far as I know, people who are coming on my platform every time to speak, no matter what, once I see them, I always give them that very preference to and then give their own opinion on that. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate your your statement and your support and all that. Thank you so much. And that brings us to the end of the program. So, Christian, give us your closing remark as we close the program, draw the curtain finally. Give us your closing remark.
Okay. Thank you so much. And we'll continue to do what we can and continue to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa at least in prayer to, for God to continue to sustain them. And also President Trump, that God continue to give him the grace.
So we need to pray for Trump. We need to pray for him. He needs our prayer.
Yeah, because I always say that it just so happens to be the hand of God in this time frame, because God will not come down from heaven to do things. He uses humans. So we will have to continue to ask God to continue to do. Obviously now, because it was like that yesterday when I saw their parties and with their celebratory mood, blah, 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 whatever. So now come this morning.
This thing you're talking about, I saw it. I saw that news. I couldn't believe it. That US now have done it. They were celebrating,
Of course, now, of course. So that in the celebration, it was then that he gave advice to.
They're just deceiving people.
Yeah, that was when he gave advice to Tinubu to buckle up, spend more money if possible, any amount if possible, to get lobbyists to go and be lying to the U.S. Congress, stuff like that. But Congressman Moore has shown undoubtedly that he is a man of integrity, a follower of Jesus Christ. So we thank God for these people, because we are facing an enemy that is much more formidable, stronger than us, but God can raise a standard against them, and I make straight to say that French, but mostly the British, they are the one, they are stronger than us, but again, this is where the prayer comes in, that their wings will be plucked up by the maker of heaven and earth, because we didn't do them nothing, absolutely nothing. All we ask is to be free people. So, and now that God is doing what he's doing in his own time and in his own pace, because that's how God rules, So, and now he has come to present the result of investigation.
What are they celebrating? What are they celebrating, Vito?
No, that yesterday, the investigators that went to America came and told them after they concluded that they said that the investigators from America said that Tinubu is doing well, doing his best. So they were happy. They were jubilating about that. But they don't know that these are also class individuals. They know how to operate. Yeah, I've come in to investigate the atrocities, the genocide, everything that is going on. And I thank you for whatever effort you are making. So, but that is not the end product of the visit. That is not the end product of the investigation. But they were already celebrating, being happy that they've said commended Tinubu. No, but from what you read now, there's no commendation on Tinubu. Is there any? None.
You see, they think that the United States will be like them, that after investigation, come and do your media propaganda. Just like the one they used to Roro Mokri did that backfire. That's what they think. They think after they make investigation, they will now bring press with media, and they will now tell them, oh, it is right or it is wrong. No, US don't have that time.
Because in that piece you read out, there's nowhere there where Congressman Moore commended Tinubu for it. So Ruben F-Face, you can go on with your propaganda. At the end of the day, God will have his ways. So now as it is now, we can't thank God enough for Trump. So the whole card has been laid down, beginning from the demand that Nigeria release Sunday Jackson. That is one of the conditions.
Yes.
And that they abolish the Sharia law. So obviously, I think there's one other thing, but anyway. So the thing is now the ball has been, is set for Trump administration to do what they will do, and from there we see what happens moving forward. Again, when it comes to Nigeria, you can't put anything past them. They might even, just maybe, I'm not making, but just maybe they might even release the son, the Jackson guy, and maybe take him somewhere else, or let him not speak. Let it not look as if they've, cowered to the American administration demand or whatever. But we shall see. That's my point. We just have to. I believe very strongly that they are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man, that will be adding to the destruction that will come upon that demonic entity called Nigeria. If you watch from the time the sentencing till now, nothing good is happening in the country. Absolutely nothing good. Every step they take brings the evil demonic entity to disruption and to disintegration. And so shall it continue moving forward. So thank you so much, Bra Maz, and we'll see you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone that have been part of this program from the beginning to the end. And thank you all for being part of the program. I pray that Chukwu will guide and protect everyone of us. My people of Biafra, lovers of freedom across the world, the truth is clear. Colonization, colonialism never ended. It never ended. It only transformed. Our duty is to resist, to speak out, and to fight for liberation of our people. This is what we must continue to do. We must continue to give a voice to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Don't ever allow them to silence him. Give a voice to Mazi Simon Ekpa. Don't ever allow them to silence him. We must continue to speak from all our angles and make sure our voice is heard. I appreciate every one of you that have been part of this program. May Chukwu guide and protect every Biafran, more especially people in the homeland. No evil shall befall you. No accidental bullet will touch you. No kidnapper will meet you. In this festive time, we should be very careful. If you don't have any important thing to do in Biafra land, it is not safe to travel. I want to remind every one of us, the Nigerian government will conduct more false flag operations in Biafra land. You have seen the one they are conducting already. They want to paint us, but they want to show the world that this Christian genocide is also happening in our land, that we are involved in it. You see the attack they did at the Zion Ministry in Opala, the new site of Zion Ministry in Opala. There was an attack there also. There was an attack recently, and you'll be hearing unknown gunmen. That's what you'll be hearing. At the end of the day, they will push it that it is the Igbo people. They will do more. Remain security conscious wherever you are. Be very, very careful. Be very careful. May Chukwu guide and protect us. I pray that Chukwu will guide and protect our leaders, more especially our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in the lion den. We pray that Chukwu will guide and protect him, secure him, give him strength, give him long life, give him good health. Every evil plan they have made against him, every poison they have put in him, will never stand. Continue to pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the best way you can. He is in the lion den. Also, we pray for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Pray for revelation. Pray for strength. Pray for grace. Pray for mercy. Pray that they will join us as soon as possible. I pray that no weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafrans shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our leaders shall prosper. Thank you so much for being part of this program. See you again in the evening by the special grace of Chukwu by 5:30 p.m. Biafran time. Thank you so much and stay blessed. See you again later on.
The very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chiko ikabia mapuni ngani chineke ngende sona efewe na kushala nina ina koza hanso ya mbuni ngani na jama we ngani ngani ge farusi obonane ge ole kali ngani ngekele kema obia mnendi nden so na kiri na kushala ni obadi ndo no one
But you know what? They don't like you doing that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I have in 5 years to come. Thank you.